And we are live. What's good, y'all? It's your man, DL Saint. Welcome to the Downrange Podcast. That's right, y'all. Downrange is a little spinoff that we do that talks about politics. And that's all right. I just wanted to make sure audio was good. We good there. So yeah, I really want to know podcast. We talk about everything under the sun, but here, Downrange, all we talk about is politics. That's it. And, tis the season. We're less than 2 years away from a presidential election here in America, and it is going to be an event-filled one, let's put it that way, right? So we only have one person who's announced that they are actually running for that campaign to be president of the United States. They want the job, and that is Donald Trump. That's the only person that has announced. Generally speaking, people don't announce early, right? Especially this early. It doesn't make sense. But when you add in all the stuff that's going on, usually with Donald Trump and all that, it does make sense. When you actually break it down, it makes sense. But it gives us stuff to talk about. So when he does things, like, it is what it is. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. We got Brother Mike in the house. What's good, fam? What's good? Oh man, good to see you, bro. We got Queen Candace, Sister Candace in the house. Good evening to you, love. You know what I mean? Thanks for coming through. That's for you. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk a little bit. And as always, whenever I talk politics, I got my brother, my jump buddy, the man, the myth, the legend himself. JSWANS is in the house. What's good, bro?
Hey, what's going on, man? You just man just walked back in.
So, shoot.
Yeah, I was just saying, hey, you caught me right in the middle of saying, hey.
I missed that. Actually, it didn't. I guess there's a bit of a lag, so I didn't see, whatever was going over there. But, hey, here's the thing. People were like, oh, you're being soft and cuddly and simpy with your woman, like your wife. You supposed to, man. Hey, you supposed to, man.
If you ain't treating your wife right, somebody else is. So look at it like that. Put that in your mental Rolodex.
Yeah, say words to live by right there, though. But like I said, man, I'm always pointing to y'all as how, the example of it being done right. You know what I'm saying? Like, me, JSWANS in there. I was fortunate enough to see it from the beginning. So I can actually say I was there.
Yeah, for real. That's crazy.
From the beginning, I know where every single body is buried.
Exactly.
But yeah, man. So we're gonna talk about we got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about Trump. We got to talk about this dinner that Kanye West was invited to Mar-a-Lago.
Kanye West, the one that you got some folks in the community thinking that he's this undercover genius.
Oh my God. Yeah, there's some people in the community that really thinks that. So you got Kanye West, who brought to Donald Trump's home for dinner a white nationalist. His name is Nick Fuentes, notorious, well-known, wherever you want to say. And we're going to talk about the fallout from that and how that was handled. Again, generally speaking, this would have been a big thing regardless, but it wouldn't be as big if Donald Trump hadn't already announced for presidency. And actually, let's keep it 100. Kanye West has also announced his presidency, his run for the office. So I ain't gonna lie to you. Generally speaking, I don't even count somebody like saying I'm running for president. It's like it doesn't even register with me. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a little boy running out with a towel shoved down the top of his shirt saying I'm Superman. Okay, yeah, you're Superman. Go on over there.
Yeah, for real. There's people that follow him. There's people that follow. I ain't gonna call him man. I can't do it. Look, his mom named him Kanye. I'm gonna call him Kanye.
I'm gonna call him Kanye. I ain't mad at you. I do the same thing.
But I mean, it's unfortunate that he's gonna do this. But you know what? Hey, the people that vote for him probably shouldn't be voting anyway. I mean, look,
there's no such thing as a wasted vote. Vote, do what you want with your vote. Just make sure you vote. Y'all, that's where I stand on all that.
I
vote for who you want to vote for.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate that this man, I mean, he has such a platform, you know, and he's throwing it away right now. I mean, look, okay, musically, the man is a genius. You know, he really is. The business world, I mean, he is. I mean, yeah, he's probably like a little savant. The business world, I don't know, man. Sometimes, you know, you just kind of fall on one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, Mr. Magoo is way into billions. I ain't mad at him. That's definitely what's going on over here?
Exactly. But, you know, I keep telling people, politics is a career. That's a career field. You know, I mean, people are like, they say, well, you know, we need a regular person in politics. No, we don't. We need someone that understands, you know, national and international finance. We need someone that understands world relations. You know, we need someone who understands. I mean, it is a career field. You know, I can't see someone like Elon Musk being president. I just can't see it. He's an intelligent man. You know, well, it remains to be seen if he's truly a savvy businessman or not, because this Twitter situation is blowing up in his face right now. But everybody keeps saying he's got a plan. I'm like, all right, let's see.
Yeah, his plan is to go to Mars. He definitely has a plan. We got brother Cody is king. What's good, fam? WDL and Swans, I can't hang, but I'll have you running. Thank you. I appreciate that, bro. Cody is kings in the house. But you're right though, man. Like politics is its own beast. If you're gonna run, I mean, look what happened to Sarah Palin. I honestly believe that Sarah Palin is a good person. She believes what she believes. She's from Alaska doing whatever they're doing up there.
She's a good person.
I think that she's an okay person for what I don't know much about her, right? I mean, from the limited, they took advantage of her, and she didn't understand what she was getting herself into.
No,
she did not understand what she was getting. I can see Russia from my living room,
but she's an adult, you know, and she's had, you know, at least 10 years to work that situation out, and she's still on that. As a matter of fact, she went further, you know, off the cliff. So, you know, I don't know if she's really a good person.
I mean, and this, again, I've never met her. I'm just talking about, is that somebody you can sit down with in a bar or whatever, sit around? Come on, dude. Like, we've both been around some extreme folks on the left and right. Yes, on the left and right. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now should those people that I'm talking about right now run for some sort of office? Absolutely not. You talking about vice president and almost got there. You know what I mean? Like that was a legit run. Like that was scary.
Wiley, I believe that the reason that McCain lost was because of her.
You could argue that, yes.
I liked McCain, bro. You know, the reason he lost was because of her. And
that was his pick. That was being that Maverick thing, and he went with his people, and they had the numbers and all that.
His people picked her, bro.
But he was in command. He went with it. He sanctioned it. He went with it.
Hey, I met that man, and I tell you, the guy on the campaign trail, I could see being the guy that I met. And that was, I told you that story, right? Went to the office.
No, you gotta tell me that, bro. And I never had the honor or the opportunity to meet John McCain. I would have loved to shake his hand.
No, we were up there in up there in DC for the coalition stuff, and you know me, I like to explore, so I went to the Senate, and you know
where you wasn't supposed to be, just roaming the halls, doing you,
walking down the middle of the hallway,
right down the middle.
And I saw his office, so I knocked on the door. You know, I mean, it was cracked open, and I went in there. I said, well, you know. Can I, I'm from California, I'm out here for some work, and I thought I'd stop by and see Senator McCain. And they were like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. And we'll take your information. I'm like, oh, well, I'm a vet. I just wanted to say hi. And he wasn't there. There's offices in the back of the offices.
Right. You got to get through. Yeah, you got to get through waves to get to back there.
And he kind of came walking out, and he was like, how you doing? And I said, how you doing, Mr. McCain?
You ain't calling Senator McCain? Come on, bro.
I said, Mr. McCain. And he was like, and I said, I know you're busy, so I'm just going to go. They told me, your staff told me you were busy. He was like, I'm not that busy. I got time for you. Come on in. Went to the back and sat down and started talking. And his aides were like, and he's like, we're busy. Talked to him for about an hour.
It's two warriors sitting down talking here. Like, go away.
Talked to him for about an hour, just BSing. His eye was up there twitching.
He gave you an hour?
Yeah, we just up there talking. And the staff kept coming in. They kept waving at him, and he was like waving them off. And, eye twitching, he's doing like this, you could tell dude's a wreck. And,
bro.
He sat there for an hour and then I left. He wasn't like, I got things to do, nothing like that. I got up and said, hey, I got things to do. I'm really sorry. Nice to meet you. It was great. And he's like, oh yeah, anytime, just let him, he said, make sure, if you come to my office, you tell them you're a veteran. And he said it real loud. He's like, and they need to make time for veterans. He said,
I love that, bro.
So, I mean, like I said, he didn't ask if I was a Republican or Democrat. We didn't even talk about that. Didn't talk about no policy. We were just BSing about the military, cracking jokes. I mean, funny guy.
Man, you gotta love that, bro. And you know what I mean? His love for the military and for American warriors is undeniable. The fact that he stayed in that situation, in that concentration, in that prison camp, at POW camp, stayed in the Hanoi Hilton when he could have gotten out. That speaks volumes. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know if I would have been able to do that.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'd have been like this. You can leave. Let them. Hey, your daddy got you out of here. Thanks, Dad. Can I bring a friend?
Jason, I'll try to get you out with me, bro. But if I can't, I ain't gonna lie to you. If it were you, right? I might go home and tell everybody. Tell them this. Last time you saw me, I was okay. Just tell them that. You know what I mean? Because you might not survive it, but at least you can go survive for both of it. I don't know if I would stay, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's another level right there, bro.
But back on this thing, I'm reading Mike's little thing right here. I'm like, no, that's the opposite. Kanye got all kinds of street smarts. He ain't got no common sense. Look, when his mama died, it scrambled his eggs some more. That accident he was in scrambled him a little bit more. So, I mean, dude,
I placed the majority of it him never coming to terms with losing his mom. You know what I mean? That's what that's who, that was like his rock. You know what I mean? That was his North Star and all that. And to lose her, he wasn't ready for that. He never came to terms with that. Well, so all the stuff that I see now, I kind of place heavily on.
You know what the real issue is? He got with a Kardashian, and
hey, that's another show. That's the other platform. That's the other platform we're gonna talk about that.
Only thing that messed up more black men than the Kardashians is crack. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? But real quick though, just to touch on that, and again, that's for the other platform. That's for the red pill stuff and all that. But I do want to point something out. He got with her. And she was the one who probably was instrumental in him securing the billions, the whole fashion deal. She got him out of debt. You know what I mean? He's the one that came up on that pairing. It wasn't her.
We've had this conversation. You know what I mean? Like I said, you ain't nothing without a good woman behind you or in front of you or next to you, wherever she got to be to handle the money. And that's what that comes down to. But
so he really came up. He walked away from that situation better than he was when he entered that situation, in my opinion. So on the one, it's like that's some. We talk about pimping or being pimps. He kind of pimped his way into $1 billion, but then he messed around and lost it. Yeah. But I'm not disagreeing. Yeah,
that's a whole other.
That's the whole. We'll talk about that on the other platform. But let's get back to this. Since you're in the chat, we'll finish it up. Sister Candace is saying, "What's up, brother Cody?" Sarah Palin. That's coming from Sister Candace. Please, y'all like the video. Yeah. Brother Michael, I like McCain. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That dude's John McCain's a real one. You know what I mean? When it comes to American warriors, make time for veterans. Yes, to even do that. Lamar Odom down bad. Yeah,
Kanye, Reggie Bush, Lamar Odom.
Don't go through the list. There's so many of them. So many of them. But so all right. So let's talk about Donald Trump, bro. So okay, Donald Trump, Kanye West. They're both celebrities. I pin them more in the entertainment world than I do the political world. But both men have announced they're going to run for president. Kanye, comes to Mar-a-Lago at Donald Trump's request for dinner. Kanye brings some people with him. All right. And one of the people that he brought was known white nationalist Nick Fuentes. All right. So right off rip, right. Former President Donald Trump acknowledged Friday, and I'll pull this up so you guys can see it, what I'm reading. Because I just want to go right to the news. This is the New York Post. We're not going to read the whole article, but just to put it in here, former President Donald Trump acknowledged Friday that he hosted white nationalist Nick Fuentes at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida, but insisted he only did so because Kanye West brought the Holocaust denier without notice. Right. And of course, y'all know the tone of this particular article. It is the New York Post. It's not a good look for Donald Trump, this particular article.
The New York Post, they ready to tee off on him anyway. So
anyway,
it's going to be a little slanted regardless.
Anyway, and it goes on to talk about Fuentes. Fuentes 24 attended racist demonstrations in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017 and 19. sparked outrage by saying the math doesn't seem to add up for a widely cited figure of 6 million Jewish Holocaust deaths. With, bro, anybody talks about the Holocaust like that, it's like, bro, you asking for it. You know what I mean? In more ways than one. Though he later claimed he was only trying to be humorous. A lot of people say racist stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anti-Semitic stuff like that. Yeah. You know, talk about genocide and like, oh no, I was just joking. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Okay. So, but I'm not gonna get into the whole article. But basically, yeah, he was there. He was there, and he was basically saying like, yeah, I was there. I don't think that Trump recognized me. But and Kanye and other articles were saying how did Trump and this guy were hitting it off well and all this.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. I mean, at my level,
what exactly aren't you buying?
The fact that I let this guy in my house because my friend bought him. You know what I mean, bro? If you show up at my house with somebody unannounced, I'm gonna look at you like, nah, who's this? You know what I mean? I mean, that's how I am. You know what I mean? And then I might turn you and your boy away depending on how dude starts to behave. You know what I mean? I'll let you come in because he's with you. You feel me? I'll let him come in because he's with you. But as soon as I catch wind of something, I'll be like, nah, you and your people got to go. We'll talk later. I mean, you wouldn't even do that. I'm trying to come up with a scenario. You wouldn't even do that.
No, I wouldn't do that.
And you brought
if I showed up with someone at your house, you know what I tell them in the car? Wait here, I'll be back. And I'm gonna come holler at you for whatever I gotta holler at you. Be like, who's that in the car? Oh man, it's just somebody I'm up here with, bro. Let me get. All right, I'm gonna holler at you.
You're not bringing nobody to dinner in my house. You know how I feel about people coming to my house. So
exactly.
But the fact that he's doing this and he doesn't know who this man is. I mean, he's got to get through the Secret Service. I mean, he's still a former president of the United States. So he doesn't know who people are. He doesn't know the people that are coming to his house, but he had all them top secret documents there.
See,
Real talk. That were supposed to be secured and everything else, but he doesn't know who the people are coming to his house. But we know through Trump's history, that's what he does. That's how he defends himself with things. He says he doesn't know people, just like he did with the KKK. And David Duke, I don't know them. I can't denounce them because I don't know enough about them to denounce them, sort of thing. So
yeah, and that what I forgot all about that. I ain't gonna lie to you. And JSWANS brought that up, and I'm like, what? So I looked it up, and I went to PolitiFact, and they were talking about this. So it seems that let's see. Donald Trump stated on February 28, 2016 in comments on CNN State of the Union, I don't know anything about David Duke. And they rated this pants on fire lie. Like, this is ultimate for you young kids. This is cap. This is top hat cap. You know what I mean? Donald Trump's absurd claim that he knows nothing about former KKK leader David Duke. David Duke was such a controversial political figure in American history that you could probably dedicate a chapter in a book to him. What he was doing, he 10 toes down, you know what I'm saying, racist through and through.
Grand Wizard of KKK.
Grand Wizard of KKK, and was running for public office. If I'm not mistaken, it was governor, and I forget what state.
Louisiana.
So was Louisiana, and made a run at it. You know what I mean? So for Trump to say he knew nothing about that.
Yeah, that's his go-to. I mean, his situation with the Proud Boys. I don't know anything about them. I'm like, you're the president of the United States. You ain't got to know.
Getting briefed on these guys. Yeah, you getting briefed on the Proud Boys.
But that's his go-to. I don't know somebody, or I don't know enough information about something to denounce it. I mean, all you got to know is that this person's a Holocaust denier, and then your response should be. And mind you, I'm not even a policy writer, or what do you call a speech writer, but your answer should be, I don't know enough about this person, but if he is a Holocaust denier, that is somebody that I definitely do not want in my circle.
That is horrible. And then go and put it on the next person if you want to do it. That person. That is horrible. And
to say that I just don't know. Well, that person's a Holocaust denier. And an anti-Semite. Really, I don't know enough about that.
I didn't invite it. I invited Kanye, and they came with him.
Kanye wrote through his crew.
Right.
He wrote through. Let them all in. And I'm like you said, I'm assuming his staff. I'm assuming he still has a staff. Nobody in his staff was like, that's not a good look. So nobody in the Trump organization, nobody in the Trump orbit had any idea who this dude was. Come on now.
Well, and that's the thing. So I'm glad you brought that up. So is the Secret Service on some level to blame for this? And it's like we lost JSWANS. The dog probably kicked the.
I'm still here. No,
are you still there?
I'm dealing with him.
All right. So is the Secret Service somehow to blame? And what do you think about that?
No. The Secret Service is not to blame because the Secret Service probably told him. I mean, dude is not a threat to the president. Obviously, he's not a threat. So the Secret Service is like, we did our part. He's not a threat. Let him go through. And it's up to Trump's staff to identify who he should and should not be around, especially since he announced his presidential run.
Yes, and I wanted, and my answer to that question as well is not the Secret Service blame at all. Their job is to secure and protect the former president. Yes. So again, like you go, Nick Fuentes is coming. Okay, Kanye is bringing 3 people. Bet who are they? Right? You get their name, you get their information. Oh, Nick Fuentes. Yes, he's on some watch list. I guarantee you, he's on some watch list. Guarantee you that his name got flagged when they sent that up the flagpole. However, like you said, it came back down. That's one of his dudes. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is not a threat. So yes, he could come to dinner. So someone had to sign off on that, though. Wouldn't they have to sign off on that?
Definitely. It's all about the votes. You don't want to turn those people off. You know what I mean? You don't want to get those people to you don't want to disenfranchise those people. Every vote counts. And I think that's Trump's attitude. And I've said this before, and we said this earlier. I don't believe Trump is a racist by any means. Trump is an opportunist.
Absolutely.
Right? An opportunity to get anything. Everything counts.
He'll sell your Brooklyn Bridge if you got enough money. Trust me.
That's for real. I think Trump would sell his mother into prostitution if he could get enough for her. I mean, and that's let's just call it what it is. So I don't think he believes David Fuentes' views. I hope I said his name right. I don't think he believes his views, but Trump is like, hey, that's somebody that can bring 20,000 votes my way. Or 11,561 votes is how many he needed in Georgia.
Is that how many? Yeah, he can find them votes. This is the guy that can find the votes. But here's the thing. I disagree with you a little bit there in the sense that I agree with you that Trump. I don't think he's racist, nor do I believe that he shares the same views as Fuentes. I'm with you there. But what I think it was is he liked the guy because the guy was pumping up his ego.
Oh yeah, definitely. I thought you were going to say you disagree with the fact that he would sell his mother into prostitution.
Oh, absolutely.
I was going to push back against you about that.
Fair price. Absolutely not. Absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
I think you're right. He went in there and stroked his ego. And Kanye went in there and said, hey, why don't you be my vice president? And that pissed Trump off.
Yeah.
That killed the vibe in the room probably.
Oh, so many levels.
Because in Kanye's interview, he said, I think that was the least thing that shocked Trump, was Fuentes is with me, that kind of thing. But
definitely.
But I think you're right. He stroked his ego, and that's what Trump seems to be about right now, which is scary. Someone that popular running to be the president of the United States, ego can be so easily stroked like that.
I mean, like I said, he is what he is, bro. And I say it all the time. I never get mad at people for being them. You know what I mean? You are who you are. I'm not gonna be mad at you. You want to get close to Trump, tell him how great he is. He's gonna give you an audience. You know what I mean? That's just that's how it's gonna be. But yeah, I agree with you, and I ain't gonna lie. I also agree with Trump on this one. I think it's entirely possible that Trump did not recognize this dude. I'm pretty sure he didn't give him his full name either. Hey, this my guy Nick. Oh, what's up, Nick? You know what I mean? So
Nick went right into kissing that ass.
Right. You're the greatest ever. Yes.
He probably took a knee and said, hold on, let me get a hold of that.
Yeah, let me get a hold of that. Tell me exactly how I'm supposed to grab him by that. How am I supposed to grab him by it? Tell me exactly how you do it. What is the technique? Oh, that's how you grab him. You know what I mean? Becky, come here, I'll show you. You know what I mean? So that's what I think was going on. He stroked his ego, and then the news break. But so here's a question I want to ask you, bro. Should someone on the Trump team be fired behind this?
Yes. I mean, if nothing else, just to save face and keep your presidential hopes alive, because you lose the Jewish community. Dave Chappelle said it. You know what I mean?
You should read exactly what Dave Chappelle had on that piece of paper at the start of that monologue.
I don't want to say it wrong and ruin the show before it gets off the ground. But no, I think you're right. I think whoever that is, in order to save face at this moment, they got to go. Somebody's got to go. Somebody's going to fall in that store. Send an intern. Hey, intern, you got to go.
It would have to be bigger than the intern. Someone. Because here's the thing: we all know that Trump can't get the best and brightest on his campaign because he doesn't pay anybody. People already know it's a problem if you're working with Trump for you later in life.
It doesn't have to be bigger than an intern because the level of the mentality of some of the people that will vote for him regardless, that 20% of the Republican Party that'll vote for him regardless, they won't care as long as they see somebody, because that he could throw out Charlie Brown and they'll be like, see, he fired that person. He fired Charlie Brown. That'll be the talking point. The concern that I have right now with this whole situation is none of the other Republicans are saying anything about it. Nobody's saying that he did anything wrong. What they are saying is that, you should not, anti-Semitism is wrong and, that sort of thing. I hope I said that right. I hope anti-Semitism is actually. but it's the wrong, they're saying stuff like that, but nobody's saying that what Trump did was wrong. They won't say his name because they're afraid of losing that 20%. And speaking with Jeff earlier, Jeff's thing was like, what he thinks will happen is, and look, the Republican Party now is screwed up for the next 15, 20 years. Because what he thinks is going to happen is if Trump loses the primary, being the way that he is, I believe that it's going to be Trump and Kerry Lake out of Arizona. That's going to be the ticket. But if Trump loses the primary and is not the Republican Party nominee, what he'll do is he'll run as an independent, and he'll take all those mega people, all the hardcore ones. And mind you, you're not seeing the Trump 2024 flags out flying like crazy now. You're not seeing that right now. Okay,
and we in Florida, y'all.
Yes, but those people will still vote for Trump.
So you think it'll turn into, if he loses the primary, he'll turn into a Ross Perot?
Oh, definitely.
Kind of sabotage. He won't just walk away. He won't just give in.
No. Scorched earth policy, brother.
Man, that's crazy. Let me catch up with the chats real quick. Brother Dino Dinosaurs in the house. What's good, fam? He's got a clown face. Trump's dad, Fred, was arrested at a New York 1927 KKK march. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know anything about that, but I will say this. I really believe Trump is more an opportunist than a racist, 100%. And I do that just coming up. He was hanging out with the hip hop crowd, hanging out with the Latinos. You know what I mean? He was any of the cool kids. Anybody that's cool. Now, what is he saying to these people, or how he treats people behind closed doors? I mean, we've heard the stories from The Apprentice and whatnot. Okay, but I think his primary goal is to be an opportunist, not necessarily racist.
I don't believe that Trump acts much different behind closed doors. I think that what's going on now is he's turned it up a notch because now he's truly untouchable. Before, because Trump had a security detail. He's always had a security detail. All right. Right. Which I'm like, I get if you're Mark Zuckerberg and and all this other stuff in the world, but Trump, you didn't really need one.
Even Elon and all them, yeah. But Trump, like you said, they found him in the crumbling Trump Towers. They went up to him as a joke to put him on The Apprentice. He didn't think Americans would take him serious. And go watch the documentary or read the book on the producers who made Trump. They made Trump with that TV show, which was insane. Yes. They brought him back. He got all his money back that he lost. Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game, and I gotta get to him, man.
At the top was the Taj Mahal or whatever it was up there in Atlantic City. Lost all that money.
That money.
I think now that he has, he's truly untouchable right now.
He's about to get touched. Like, this indictment is coming, bro.
He can't be touched by, a regular person. No, I'm talking about just in life. You know what I mean? Like, if Trump was acting like that when he was hanging out with Russell Simmons and all them, bro.
Yeah, he'd caught a beat down.
Yeah, I think he might have got bodied, the way he be talking. But see, now he's untouchable. He really is. I mean, you can't get
too big. And shout out to Wonderful 34. What's up, brother? Shout out to you. And I was just waiting for a break real quick because thank you for the Cash App you just sent me. And I want to acknowledge the Cash App you sent from the previous show, bro. Thank you so much, man. I truly appreciate the support. Hey, man, we going to get it, man. Like I said, I'm rocking out with the day ones, man. We are going to get it. So thank you so much. And the information stays the same. I know this is I really want to know platform. This is the Downrange Podcast, but all that information stays the same, y'all. So bro, thank you so much, man. Straight up. It's on, man. And yeah, like I said, next year, 2023, we're gonna be doing some live events. We got some stuff coming for y'all, bro. All my day ones, trust me, I got something coming for y'all. So one more time for you, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Sister Candace, it was disingenuous. It was a disingenuous comment by Trump, and that's going back to the whole David Duke thing. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And what gets me is how fast he was to throw Kanye under the bus.
For real. You know what I mean? For real. But you know what though? Hey, go for the weak ones, right? You know.
Yeah, and brother Jeff's in the house, man. What's good, fam? Good to see you. Thanks for being coming through in the chat. He may get indicted, but he'll never be found guilty. I disagree with you, bro. Here's the thing, and this is okay. I agree with you up to a point. But here's the thing: if in fact what they say is true about the documents that he had and where they found these documents, they have to do something to him. He's not going to go into an institution, but he's going to have to at least get a box on his ankle and sit down somewhere. He may even get to choose his jail. Like, or you can stay at Mar-a-Lago or you can stay at Trump Towers, but they're going to do something to him. They can't let that ride. That breach was just too serious.
You know, okay, I agree with Jeff and I don't agree. I think that he'll definitely get indicted, but as far as being found directly guilty, they're not going to be able to find a jury in the world, okay, that's going to be impartial.
But wouldn't it be a military tribunal though? This is a military thing, right? And he is commander in chief, or he was.
Even then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't care. It's a tribe. It's a court martial.
That's true.
It's a court martial, bro.
Because that guy that shot up at Bragg, you know, his jury was guys from Bragg. So, right. I don't know. I think I could see a deal being struck, kind of like a Nixon and Ford type situation. It was like, look, this is what we got. All right. Now you could just go away quietly, which I don't know if he's got that in him to go away quietly.
And there's the problem.
You know, just go away quietly, and we'll go ahead and just let this ride. So I don't know. You're talking about. I guess like I said it before, man. We're living history right now. This is
never come up before. This is not Nixon flying off in the Air Force or Marine One. You know, this is way different. This is. I put it to you like this: if anyone other than the former president of the United States had those documents in their possession, they would have got disappeared.
Bro, if we'd have taken a Singar home or some Nods home, you know what I mean?
anything sensitive. Yeah.
You know,
but some to this level, the information, because again, if the allegations are true, if the rumors are true, and we're talking about nuclear sensitive information, we're talking about tactical, sensitive information. If that's true, they have to do something to him. They have to. You just can't let that ride. And I agree with JSWANS. Smart money is they'll come and make a deal. Just say this, read this statement. We're just gonna float away into whatever, and we're just gonna deal with it that way. But he's not the kind of guy that does that.
I don't know what that's going to look like. I mean, it's definitely going to be smarter people than us having to deal with that and work that deal out.
Way above my pay grade. Because, I mean, and they don't want to deal with it, but you have to address it. Yeah. I don't think it's something that anyone thought would ever happen. No one thought that a former president of the United States of America would do something like this. Now, I don't think.
He keep messing with the Jews, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He might have to Lee Harvey him, you know what I'm saying?
He might have a stroke. He might have a stroke. What happened to the president? Y'all know he was overweight. One too many donuts. You know what I'm saying?
For real, honeypot him or something like that and be like,
hey. So we are this has never happened before in American history, and now that it has happened, they're gonna have to do what they need to do.
And here's the crazy part, though. And it's the part that really just blows me away. All right. So if he would have kept his mouth shut and stayed off of Twitter, he'd have won the election in 2022 or 2021. He'd have won that election, right?
If he stayed off of Twitter, I agree with you. He'd be president right now. Yeah. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
If he'd have just left the White House, all right, lost the election, just left the White House, waved and said goodbye and left the White House, he would be president in 2024.
Had he not riled up, I mean, and I want to be nice. I'm not gonna use the I word now. Had he not riled up the hornet's nest, if he just said, "Okay," I was trying to be nice.
That was you.
I was trying to be nice.
But really though, I mean, if he'd have just left, like every other president did, the transfer of power and have a great day, he would be president in 2024. Especially before right now.
Be the front runner, definitely would have been a red wave. Like, I mean, it would have been a red tsunami. It should have been. It should have been.
Yes.
The fact that it's the reason Republicans don't have that kind of control right now is because of Donald Trump. And this same guy won't even sit down and listen to him. And they can see he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the party. He doesn't really care about the country, i.e. he took the documents. He only cares about himself. And now they don't know what to do. They hitched themselves to the wrong wagon.
Yeah,
that's my take.
Make a deal with the devil. You know what I mean? And he's going to come to collect.
He's going to come to collect.
And I think that's kind of what's going on. I really think the Republican Party is really damaged. I mean, the Democratic Party, you know, I thought
they're damaged too. They're jacked. Come on now.
They ain't nowhere near.
Oh my God. They need to be replaced. They really need to be replaced.
If nothing else, the Democratic Party is going to go in one direction. All right. You can say, hey, we're all going off this cliff and we're all going together. The Republican Party will argue about how they're going to kill themselves. Well, we're all going to go off this cliff. Well, no, hold on. I want to set myself on fire. All right, the 5 of y'all go ahead and set yourself on fire. Well, hold on. The 8 of us over here, we want to shoot ourselves. Okay, y'all go ahead. I mean, that's the Republican Party right now. I mean, bro, think about it. McCartney might not even be the Speaker of the House. And I've already talked to you about that. I think if I was the Democrats right now, okay, I'd put up a Republican. And I'd have every Democrat stand up there. I'd put a Republican up.
You sent me that article and I'm looking into it because I was like, hey, you know what I mean? Because it's an obscure rule. Yes. And it's an obscure rule that they're using.
Yes. I mean, well, you can put anybody you want up. You know,
but it's under some obscure. It's under some obscure. That's what I'm trying to look at. I want to understand that rule a little bit more.
Like I said, if I was a Democratic Party, okay, I would put Liz Cheney up there to be Speaker of the House. I'd make all the Democrats vote for her, and I would tout her record with voting with Donald Trump to show that she's a real Republican. I'd be like, she voted with him 90+% of the time. All right. Yeah. And then my stance would be, you know, when it came down to what she's going to do, she stood by the Constitution, not by party. And that's what we want to.
And I would second that. If we were Democrats and we were sitting in the room, I would second that. I ain't gonna lie.
But think about that. That would be a power move by Pelosi for real. Okay. But now, mind you, but Liz Cheney ain't gonna Pelosi ain't gonna control Liz Cheney. She's not. Liz Cheney.
But hold on though for 1 second though. 1 second. On this platform, I read what Liz Cheney's thoughts were on Nancy Pelosi, and they were all good. They were all good. Now that you're saying this, bro. What did they have tea as two powerful women, two of the most powerful women in America, and talk about this?
I was getting ready to say two of the most powerful. Look, bro, you got people talking crazy about Pelosi. Look, people don't like Pelosi because she's a Democrat. All right, Pelosi's a boss.
She's a G. She is a G.
Pelosi will have you bodied. You know, so be careful what you.
Hey, I looked at what's going on with her husband, bro. Some people was, I think not you, but some other people was like, "Yo, you think she did that?" I'm like, I don't know.
Yes.
I'm like, I don't know.
Yes. Okay. But I mean, but like I said, Liz Pelosi can't control Liz Cheney. If Liz Cheney was to become Speaker of the House, you couldn't tell Liz Cheney nothing. She wouldn't be beholden to any party. Now, would she jack the Republicans up? Yes, she would.
No, she would jack up the Trumpers. She wouldn't jack up the real Republicans.
And she would jack up the Democrats. Omar,
AOC.
Yep. Now AOC ain't been crazy. Omar said some crazy stuff. Okay. She'd be like, Omar, you're off your committee. Marjorie Taylor Greene, you're off your committee. Next.
She come out with Team America. It's a wrap. We Team America over here. Hey man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I hope they're listening. If y'all know him forward on this podcast, let me catch up with the chats because Brother Jeff's in the house and I definitely want to read what he has to say. Sister Candace, Trump was also impeached twice. I agree. He may be indicted, but he will not see any jail time.
They're not gonna put a former president in jail, bro. That's a bad look. You know what I'm saying? It's a bad look for the country.
Is it though? Because now you're really showing that America is not above the law, not even the highest office.
No.
But you can't put him in an institution, though. I mean, that's the thing, though. You can't.
I was going to say, it's not only is it a bad look for the country to lock the president up, it's a bad look for the country for us to be walking around talking about, F Biden or, F Trump and all that other stuff. That's a bad look for our country as well. Because, okay, I look at it like it's like a marriage. All right. You let somebody talk bad about your spouse, you know what I mean? Or you talk bad about your spouse and you talk crazy, you see all kinds of crazy stuff. Other people are going to do it too. All right. We can do it here in America, but you got other countries doing that now, talking crazy. And what were those shirts during the Trump rallies? It was, better red than Democrat or something like that. I'm like, come on.
But again, that's a small percentage. Like the rank and file Republican wasn't thinking that, but it's the same thing. Like,
here's the problem though. They weren't coming out against it either. And that's the problem.
They were letting it ride, and that's just as bad. You got to call it. Do
your thing. Because I know you read slow.
Oh no! Yeah, come on now. I went to Cincinnati, bro. It is what it is.
You got them big words on there like sets and.
Hey man, look, it got more than 3 syllables, bro. It's gonna be a struggle over here. I'm on the struggle bus. But no, Sister Candace, can we discuss the types of precedents that this sets, having pursued legal action against a former sitting president? The House Republicans have already signaled investigations will be investigating Biden and his son. So they already signaled investigating Biden and his son. And I was going to bring that up. Here's the thing. If we lock up Trump, right, because former president who did what he did and deserves to be locked up, right? Let's just say that's the process happens, found guilty. If we lock him up, do we become a country where we're trying to lock up every president that takes the office?
Yes. Yes, we do. And that's why, this is why the what if game, has always been a problem for me. But this is why the what if problem, because instead of doing what's right, you start, going tit for tat. And that's the problem right there.
It's that team shit. What's my team? Now it's not politics. It's not life and death. It's not, America protecting itself and being the best country can be. It's people allegiance to their team and they want to win or lose.
They're talking about impeaching what the Department of Homeland Secretary, Homeland Security Secretary, talking about impeaching him now. If you don't step down, we're going to impeach you. So basically what they're doing, and they plan on using some obscure law where you can defund individuals within government to stop investigations. So
so you could defund individuals?
I think individuals or individual departments within government to stop, because that's how they plan on dealing with the Mar-a-Lago thing. They, So it's like we're dangerously close to the beginning of the end. Like it is the end game. And like what Brother Jeff was saying, maybe this is how he drains the swamp. This is going all the way back to what Trump was saying. We were talking about Trump. This is how he drains the swamp. If any politician wants to drain the swamp, including Trump, and he's smart enough to understand this, all you got to do is enact term limits using, either through executive action or through some sort of legislation, enact term limits and do away with Citizens United. And guess what? You're going to start draining the swamp right away because you get rid of all the dark money. And I think even someone like Trump understands that. He doesn't want to change the process because he benefits from it. He's still 1%. He said it.
Yeah, he said it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Jeff was saying he goes down, everyone goes down. And that's what we're talking about now. Possibly. Yeah. It changes the way we do business. And like what Sister Candace was saying, President of the United States is already a dangerous job. And now you're looking at it to where, okay, we're going to comb through your administration. We find anything wrong after you're out of office. We're going to arrest. We're going to lock you up. And the only person who can save you is the other president, which we didn't talk about. If Donald Trump had to go through the process, he got convicted, right? And they're like, okay, we're going to do something to him. Wouldn't the president, whoever he or she is, pardon him immediately?
I believe so. Because you're not protecting Trump. You're protecting the office of the president of the United States. So I believe that they'll definitely pardon him.
So again, and now it becomes a game.
Yeah, it won't be in his hands. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else will hold that pardon. But I believe they'll pardon him. I mean, nobody thought Nixon would go away quietly. Yeah, I don't know what was said to Nixon, but you ain't heard nothing since he gave the peace sign on his way out.
They probably gave him a picture of Daily Square. We're about to send you down to Texas if you get on that helicopter.
They showed a picture of that that Kennedy assassination.
Yeah, like that. Let's go watch the Zapruder film. Let's go watch the Zapruder film. That's what he got to see.
There's crosshairs in this video. Yeah, we know.
What's going on, man? Matter of fact, who are you? Like, I'm the guy that was holding the weapon. Oh, okay. Right. He turned that video off. Okay, I guess I'm leaving. Who knows what they did to get him out of office?
Telling you, and that's why, I mean, because the president can't be touched. That's why, we got out of the assassination game. Because
wink.
You keep playing that game, with real world leaders, not them little third world. I'm the president of of some little obscure country. I'm the president of Swansonville. No, right. Big countries, we ain't messing with that.
They ain't messing with that. You got, Putin takes some plutonium and finish it off real quick. Dosing people up in other countries with plutonium.
Especially, I mean, and here's the thing. Even right now, as much as people have a problem with President Trump or former President Trump, he's still a former president. So if something was to happen to him, like he was to get locked up or or fall on a bullet 20 times in the back, kind of thing, people are going to lose it. And
let's paint another picture though. Let's paint another picture. Let's say you get a nation like Iran who wants to get at Trump for what he did to their people, right? So, or some of their generals. So it's like, all right, and they're thinking, here's the opportunity. You know what I mean? Oh, whatever, we can get him. He doesn't have support of the Americans, and they hit him. And we find out. We got to go deal with them.
Yep, but it wouldn't even be a hesitation. The whole country. Yep.
We got to go deal with them.
It'd be a 9/11 event.
Instantly.
Yes.
You had me on TV talking about, Trump, he really was my dude, man. He didn't have to go out like that. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, let's roll. But the whole point is, it's like now it's Team America against a foreign nation.
Now, here's the sad part. If something like that was to happen to Biden, I believe that you would have a huge portion of the country. Not a huge portion. I say a good 25, 30% would be like, good. I'm glad it happened.
But that happened to Kennedy, though. But that's not even the first time, because that happened to Kennedy. You had people jumping up and down when Kennedy was assassinated.
Yeah, see, yeah.
You know what I mean? You had people, and those were turbulent times back then. You know what I mean? It was going on with racism, was going on with Vietnam, going on with everything else. There were people who...
Kennedy had met with Dr. King, and people were freaking out.
Cuban Missile Crisis. Like, there was a lot of people still, Bay of Pigs. People to this day still pissed off about that. You know what I mean? So
even the Cuban Missile Crisis. See, and this goes to, once again, to leadership and such. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Kennedy reached out to Eisenhower to get advice on how to deal with that.
Yeah, I would talk to the general too. That's the one guy I definitely would talk to. Like, what would you do here, General?
Former President Eisenhower, and but a lot of people look at that type of stuff. Well, why are you talking to him? He's supposed to be the president. That's showing weakness. That's not showing weakness. That's showing true leadership, because
wisdom.
When you need help.
That's wisdom right there. You know what I mean? He served under him. I mean, come on now. You know what I mean? PT 109. You know what I mean? That, again, these are military guys who understand the military and they understand rank. This guy was the supreme commander of all allied forces during the greatest war the world had ever seen at that time. I would talk to him too.
But not only that, though, but he knew that he didn't have all the answers and wasn't afraid to ask for help. I mean, that could have gone either way. Real bad. I mean, the more I've read into that, the more I'm like, damn, we really were on the edge of something.
Yeah, but it almost happened. I mean, we almost all of us would have been glowing in the dark right now. That we were close, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely. What's this? Oh, you got to catch up on the chat.
I'm just gonna show I'm gonna show the chat, y'all. I'll go back to the ones that I'm gonna try to highlight later. But I'm just gonna show the chats because this is a good conversation. But I mean, I'm just thinking about this Trump thing, bro. Like, again, if he is convicted, he's certainly going to get a pardon.
Well, I don't. Here's the thing. Like, I don't know how you could convict him. I just don't know. What the hell? Go back. Hold on. Go back.
We're just catching up on the chats, man. Like, finish your thought. We don't know what.
I'm sorry, man. I was like, what the? But no, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, you can't find it. You're not going to be able to find an impartial jury. So you have to have a judge make that call. And
it'll be a military tribunal, wouldn't it? I mean, again, this is military.
I don't know. I mean,
it'd be a court martial. The
thing is it's government stuff.
But he's commander in chief. He's commander in chief, and he took documents that are tied to the Pentagon, tied to the military. this would have to be a court martial or a military tribunal. It would have to be.
I don't know. You know what I mean? This right here is what the problem is. I mean, and all the stuff he took wasn't military stuff. I mean, he took the letters that him and Kim Jong-il was sending back and forth, the love letters. So, I mean, I don't know. I just, you know, it's like, it's unprecedented. You know, I mean, what do you do? I don't know. But I think there's definitely going to be some consequences. Now, this stuff down in Georgia, that prosecutor down there, she ain't playing. She might lock his ass.
Yeah. She's trying to lock him up. And Southern District of New York, same thing. You know,
and see, here's the thing. Even if he gets pardoned by the president, that doesn't have anything to do with the state stuff. Nothing. So, I mean, I don't know. But I don't think he's going to see any time in jail. I can see him being under house arrest.
If they were going to put him in an institution, they would have to A, build one, or B, empty one out, because you couldn't have anyone else in there with him. Nah.
I mean, well, he'd go to a military prison.
They would have to empty that out. I mean, no one else would be in there.
Nah, he could go to Fort Knox and, you know, he would just be by himself. But that's never going to happen, though. It's never going to happen. So, I mean, now as far as the state stuff, I don't know. The states might be like, nah, you're going to jail. No, what'll happen? Kemp in Georgia, Kemp will pardon him.
Well, that brings it back to New York then, because the Southern District of New York is going after him too. Yeah. So it's just so much going on. This has never been.
Is it a criminal case or is it a civil case that the state is going after? They just going after him for money, or they?
It's. I think it's going to be criminal. We have to look into it. There were criminal cases. They wanted to make it a Fed case. The Fed declined to take the case, so it was a criminal case. They kicked it back down to the state. And a lot of times, if the Feds say no to a case, that means the case has holes in it.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Fed
don't want to deal with it.
The Fed is, what is a 98% conviction rate? They're not playing.
They're not playing. And everyone thought it was a sure end, like, oh, the Feds are going to take this, and they didn't. So that was like, well, might be some holes in that case.
And see, and that's why everybody's sitting around looking at the stuff going on. Why hasn't the Fed? Why haven't they indicted him yet? Because they making sure they dotting all their I's and crossing all their T's.
The indictment's coming. There's no way around it.
You got that special prosecutor going, and then Trump talking about that man's wife. What is it? The special master guy.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah,
he talking about that man's wife. I'm like, bro, you just got to stop. Like,
stop.
You know, Trump needs he needs one of them street brothers to be like, hey, you know, you got to take this case. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to take this. You ain't never this your first offense, man. They ain't gonna go that hard. You just go ahead and take that.
Man, you gonna get a little box on your ankle. It is what it is, bro. They gonna let you pick where you gonna stay at, which house. You taking this, bro? You taking it? Yeah, I mean, it come down to that. Brother Dino, a black woman working for U.S. Embassy in Manila got 3 months in jail for taking classified documents home to work on.
Yes,
and they tell you though, you can't take those.
Yes.
Every year in the FAA, we had to watch these videos and sign off on these. They had to take these tests on dealing with, you know, secure information. And it is what it is. This woman, whoever she is, she should have known better. And
hey, when you're as an air traffic manager, you know what I mean? I had access to some of that stuff, and you don't play with that. I don't even want to look at it.
They coming to see you, bro. And it's and that woman, whoever she is, she knew. It's not like she should have known better. She knew better. Every single year, you got to take that test.
I say then when she did it, I'm willing to bet I'm probably positive that she wasn't like, whoa, hey, you know what? I did this. Okay. I'm sure she tried to hide it because, you know, the trying to cover it up was always worse than the crime. And that's why she did 3 months.
and again, it's 3 months, but that's sending a message. You do like her, and this is what's going to happen to you. And again, every single year.
Lots of cats in the military, I guarantee, locked up behind that.
More of them locked up behind that government credit card. I don't know why they keep doing what they do with them government credit cards, bro.
But you know who you are, Blair. Getting them rims, boy.
Getting them rims. Like, what was you thinking? But that's the whole point. People know, like, the rules are there. They will do everything they can to circumvent them rules. But if you push the boundaries, they're just gonna light you up, bro. And that's what Trump has been doing.
Yeah, he knew what the rules were. I mean, I know he's saying that whole thing about I declassified this. Now he knew what the rules were, man. He just wanted the stuff. He wanted it. And now for what reason? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't understand that either. I don't understand that.
Hey, Candace, I agree with you.
Yeah, Sister Candace, she's saying house arrest at a multi-million-dollar mansion slant compound is hardly punishment for his alleged crimes, Brother Swanson. I agree with you as well, but again,
but Candace, he's a former president of the United States, and he's rich.
And he's rich, and he's the first one to do it. The first one's always gonna catch the best break. He's the first one to do it. You know what I mean? Now, if down the line, if some other president were to try it, they probably go a different route.
Let me put y'all on game. Here's how this is going to go, right? They're going to indict him. They're going to go through all this. They're going to jump through all these hoops, and they're going to say, okay, we're not going to lock you up because you're a former president of the United States, but you're going to have to give us somebody, all right? And somebody named Bob or one of them people who is it, is it a Corey Levenstein or whatever that dude's name is? Gosh, I can't think of that guy's name now.
Not familiar with that one.
Campaign manager for a while or something like that. It's going to be somebody like that. What's that ball? Stephen Miller. That's going to be the one. That's who's going to jail. Somebody like Stephen Miller or Corey Levenstein or whatever that dude's name is. That's who's going to jail. All right. Trump ain't going to jail. Like I said, he'll be under house arrest. They'll tell him to shut up. You know, they'll give him some saltpeter, whatever they're doing. But somebody like Stephen Miller is going to be the one to go down. Watch. Somebody like that. It's going to be a high profile person.
That's crazy if they would get him.
And they're gonna put it on him. Just like Iran Contra. Okay, Reagan was like, yeah, go down there and sell them things. Okay, go down there and sell them eaters.
Right. And and told Bush, and Bush went down there, and who was old Ollie North had to fall on his sword and do the time.
And everybody knew Ollie North didn't do it. Everybody knew it. He just did what he was told. What was on a light colonel at the time?
Had to go get a Marine. Had to get a Marine to take that because all the Army guys was like, hell no.
Hell no.
No. All the Navy, you did this. You had to get a Marine. Like, all right.
Kelly, you telling me that a colonel in the United States Marines authorized the sale of weapons to the Contras? Come on now. But he took it. And
on his own. Like, I just woke up one day and said, I'm just going to do this.
I'm just going to do this. And he didn't get, and mind you, it wasn't like he was rich and all this other stuff all of a sudden. He just doing it because he felt like it was the best thing for the country. I'll tell you right now, y'all, a full-board colonel ain't doing that. Ain't risking his career behind that.
Not behind that. Especially in the Marine Corps, it's so hard to make rank because there's such a small organization. There are less slots. You know, you have to work hard to get that.
Like Ali was involved with the CIA and everything else. Nah, he ain't doing that by himself. And
on track to be general. On track to be general in the United States Marine Corps. Come on now.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's going to be somebody's going down, but it's not going to be Trump. Trump's going to take a deal. All right. And this deal is going to be, shut up and sit in this corner and give us Stephen Miller. But it's going to be somebody like that. That's who's going down. It's not going to be Ivanka. It's not going to be Jared. It's not going to be none of his kids. It's going to be somebody like Stephen Miller. Because Trump is a dirty dude. And like I said, I think he would sell his mom into prostitution for the right price. But he's not going to give up his kids. He might give up that little weird one.
Nah, I think he'll give up the boys. He wouldn't give up his daughter. And then she came out against him. So I don't know. He might be willing to give her up now.
He ain't gonna do that. He's still trying to hit that. But he'll give up.
Oh, bro, come on, man.
He'll give up.
Come on, man. That's a low. Where's my flag? That's unnecessary. I got to throw a flag on that one, man. Unnecessary roughness.
Hey, I call it like I see it. You know what I mean?
Bro.
But he's not gonna. It's gonna be somebody like Stephen Miller. That's who's gonna go down for this stuff. Even with that's why what's his name? What's the little sissy governor down in South Carolina? Lindsey Graham. That's why Lindsey Graham all nervous about
Graham a senator. He's a senator, or is he in the House? I can't remember. So I'm gonna have to brush up on everything. Okay.
Yeah, he's a senator. So that's why he's all nervous about this right now. He's nervous about this whole situation because he might get caught up in it, and Trump will throw him under the bus quickly. Like you're right. And Sister Candace is making some great points in the chat. I mean, it's like this one here. She says it would appear that spaghetti is being thrown against the wall to see what sticks. A lot of the spaghetti we're talking about here in the Southern District of New York and in Georgia, that's real stuff. And like this stuff with the documents is real. They got him. You know what I mean? And the problem is it's a former president. So it's like you got to make sure everything, and then you got to get people to talk. And I just keep telling people this: the president can put you to sleep. The former president could put you to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think those people will put in work. Yeah, they won't put in work for Trump because he runs his mouth too much. But like if Obama wants you to disappear, you know what I mean? If Clinton wants you to disappear, bro, that might happen. But Trump, nah, because he'll run his mouth.
Yeah. He'll tell people,
You know what I mean?
I had so and so go do this. I had him go knock on his door.
Right. Right. Now so and so's on the run. Sister Candace, I don't know many politicians who are not wealthy despite their paltry annual salaries. LOL. Yeah. Look at Nancy Pelosi, 200 million plus.
Local politicians are not rich. All right. Local politicians in small areas. You know, you get, the places as big as Tampa or Orlando, and you start seeing money start to flow in because they control things. I mean, even here where I am, these local politicians, I mean, it's like I said, man, being around these people, I've learned a lot about how they buy and sell people. It's crazy to me, bro. I mean, it really is. I had no idea it was this rampant, because they're doing all this construction over here by where I am all of a sudden, because the freeway got here. And, they putting in some new businesses and they fought it for years. And all of a sudden, hey, let's do this now. Yeah. That's because somebody hit the right number.
So what do you think of brother Dino's statement here? You know what I mean? He owes $1 billion with about 200 million due next year. Saudi wants nuclear secrets for weapons. He probably want to get at Israel and energy as the oil is running out. And that's going back to the papers, like as possible motive as to why he took some of these docks.
Possibly. I mean, there's definitely some money in that.
Absolutely. And I mean, it blew my mind. Like the documents he took, so like you said, it's some love letters in there. It's some of his own personal notes. But then there's documentation on some of our allies and some, and then there's like the military stuff.
Nobody knows exactly. I mean, they've said that there was some stuff in there with about the Prime Minister of France and some documents about the I don't know what they call him, the Prime Minister of whatever they call the guy in Canada, the president.
No, it was in France. It wasn't Trudeau. It was the guy in France.
It was the guy in France. Yeah, there was some stuff in there about him. So I mean, nobody knows. They haven't said what's in there, which tells me that there's some good stuff in there because Trump ain't even talking about it. They mentioned the love letters that he took between him and Kim Jong-un, and even in his place up there in New York, in Trump Tower, in one of the in the exclusive bar. He's got the docs. He's got the classified documents in a glass case up there, so you can look at them and read them. Well, he did. They went and got those too.
Yeah, I bet they did, and he should have been locked up for that right there.
I mean, I know what frustrates people because you got some hardcore Trump people that think that he can do no wrong, and the thing is nobody is above the law. Nobody is above the law, and on this platform, I mean, we're gonna call bullshit on both sides, and this is, you can't even hide this. Like I don't
have to do something.
Yeah. I don't even see how people try to defend the whole Trump situation right now. I mean, if I was Trump's boy, I would be like, I don't know. I never met Trump. I don't want the feds looking at me.
If JSWANS came to me and like, yo, I robbed Fort Knox, I'm like, I love you, but you got to leave now.
Wait, I robbed Fort Knox. And they know I robbed Fort Knox, but they ain't gonna get the money yet.
Broad daylight, no mask. They know it was me. You know what I mean? Got the truck outside, like, bro, get in that truck and keep driving. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What do you want me to do? I can't help you, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like, you got people that are rocking with him, knowing he's wrong. Like knowing he's wrong. I've really waited for somebody in the chat to be like, well, first of all, I waited to see what about Hunter Biden. That's what I was waiting to see. I'm kind of mad. I heard that. I probably owe you a cup of coffee. That. But,
it ain't happened yet.
Because that's been the line. But I'm still surprised that so many people are like, well, he didn't do anything wrong, and people really believe that he declassified this stuff. I mean, you got that narrative. You got that narrative out there. Like I said, he was confused. Not that I'm trying to make a defense for what he did, but someone said something along the lines is you can declassify anything you want. It's as simple as you thinking about it and it's done. But they went on to say more things, important things, but he shut off right there. Yeah, all I got to do is, I just got to think this declassified is declassified. Okay, blink is declassified. Let me take this with me. Blink, that's declassified. I'm going to take that with me. And that's the problem. You know what I mean? He didn't listen to the rest of the process. Exactly. And I think that same situation went on with this Fuentes guy. I mean, I think they probably said to him, like, hey, he's a big supporter, but he's got some views that we should not have around us. But all he heard was he's a big supporter and he's with Kanye. That'll get me good press. Give me the good press.
And then bam. Oh, but you guys didn't tell me. We did tell you, bro. You know what I mean? We did tell you.
I really believe that's how he functions. I mean, he hears what he wants to hear, just like anybody else in the world. You know, you hear what you want to hear, and you surround yourself with enough yes men, all you're gonna get is what you want to hear.
Is yes, yeah. And I want to read a couple chats in the chats because Candace has a really good one. There's one here. She says, "If a pardon were the great equalizer, then the juice isn't worth the squeeze." In other words, like, why are we going through all this if he's just gonna get pardoned anyway? That's a good point. And to your point, bro, like if we don't do anything, the only thing in my opinion is holding America together is the fact that no one's above the law. If you don't do anything about stuff at this level, then that's it. That is really the beginning. That's tugging at the string is going to bring all of it apart.
Bro, well, you know, part of it is like you've always had people like this in America. You know, that'll do whatever and push every envelope.
That'll burn it down.
Yes, but you've never had it at this level. I mean, there's always been the office of the president of the United States. There's a certain, like, it's supposed to change you. That's why these guys age like they do, because you know, you feel the full weight of it on you. And Trump is the one guy that it didn't change.
Right. There are governors, there are congressmen and women, governors, senators have all been locked up for doing shit far less than this. But like you just said, though, it never seemed to have gotten to the highest office in the land because people get there and they see, oh, this is real.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? I can't even take a nap tonight because if I do, while I'm asleep, World War III might start. So I need to stay up.
The aliens might invade. You know what I mean?
They might, or they might come back. They might come back.
But I think he's the one person in history that it just didn't change. Like he didn't feel the full weight of the president. Like he talked about. I guess one of the stories is that when they sent some Navy SEALs in and they got killed, he sent them in over dinner. Like took a bite and said, "Yeah, go ahead and send them in." I mean, he's not even in a situation room. He's not like weighing it out. He's not talking to the Joint Chiefs. He's just like, oh yeah, go ahead. You know, there's no feeling. You know, like when you look at the raid, you look at the Bin Laden raid. You know, and you look at how Obama talked about it and how they looked in the Situation Room. Like, I don't know what kind of filming they saw. You know, I don't know because you know, once again, they probably got some next level shit, like some 3D VR. You know, and but you could tell even with the Bin Laden situation, you know, Barack Obama was like, damn, you know, we just bodied the dude. You know, like I think he felt that. Hillary, I really believe one of the reasons she lost the election is because you could see it on her face. Yeah. I mean, she's in that room and you could see her like, oh my God, you know, she clutched the pearls.
Clutching the pearls. Right. And you got people like Barack Obama who was asking about the janitorial team. Like, well, you know, casualties will be low, Mr. President. Well, what about the janitorial team? How many people have to die for us to hit this position? Right. Exactly. You got people like that. And that's a far cry from somebody who's just like, you know, over their hamburger. Like, yeah, go ahead. And
once again, I don't know if that story's true. Okay. So that's just like something I heard or read, or I don't know. It was years ago.
All right. Thanks for keeping it 100, bro. Like, thanks for keeping it 100. And here's the thing. This is the reason you see this, what I highlighted right here. Is this going to be the next Hunter Biden laptop thing? Like, this is what the Democrats are going to be screaming moving forward. Saudi Prince MBS has put $2 billion into Kushner slammed Trump's investment fund, $25 million annually management fee to Kushner. You know what I mean? So,
once again, I don't even know about that, and it doesn't look good. You know,
right? If it is in fact true, it does not look good.
You know. But I mean, I don't know. That's a bad look, you know. And once again, if I was Trump, I would just shut up for real. Like I put it this way, I took documents. All right. I done photocopy all this stuff already. You know what I'm saying? My bad. Take it all back. He'd have been all done. You know, Kanye West.
Definitely would have been an oopsie moment. Oopsie.
Yeah, Kanye West and Fuentes. You know, oh wow. Oh my. Okay, I'd have told him at dinner, hey, look, I'm not supposed to have you here. It's not a good look for me. But, you know, I support you and everything you stand for. I just can't sit out there, but I'm gonna let people know subtly.
Yeah, I'm like, don't worry, bro. At the end of dinner, I'm gonna stand up and make a scene talking about how evil you are. But it's all good, yo. I just got to do that so I get these votes, all right?
Exactly. You know, once I get in there, that's what I'm gonna do for you. That's all you got to do. That's all he's got to do. And the problem is, you know, and this goes back to some of that manosphere stuff we talked about. You know, you don't ever admit that you're wrong. Don't ever say you did anything wrong. Hold your frame, you know, and that I think that is part of the problem right there because he's doing it, bro. He knows he's wrong. You had an anti-Semite at dinner.
You can't be more wrong than that, bro.
You know what I mean? Oops, my bad. I messed that one up. It won't happen again. Well, how did he even get near you? My people let me down.
Charlie Brown, come here. This is the intern that blew it. Charlie Brown, get fired. All right, that's what happened.
For real. You know what? Wait, and go full in on it. Go in there, just like you do on The Apprentice. Stand there behind the table like a mafia don, lay into him, you're fired. People would go crazy.
Man, they're going to want to hire you, bro. They're going to want to hire you, man. Look out.
that right there. His people would go crazy. And
that would work.
Get a hold of. Look
would work.
He humiliated that man. Trump went in there because he knew that guy was wrong and he jumped on him.
Because he's the boss. That's leadership in action. He's better than DeSantis. This is who we want in there. Hey, you're right. That's it right there, bro.
Yeah.
That's it right there. And Sister Candace, he was saying, great point, brother JSWANS. Local politicians are not rich. I was more so referring to household names brought up in this conversation, and I didn't mean to diminish a six-figure salary, which is great money for us. And yeah, we get it, but y'all know what I say though. If you know the household names and a politician, they're bought and paid for.
Hey, but Candace, though, local politicians are becoming rich, though. They're becoming rich because it's all about people are figuring out how to work the system now. You want to put a target on the corner, you got to grease a couple palms. I mean, they're learning the old mafia games. You know what I mean? That's old mafia stuff. Oh, you want to open a store here where you got to pay A, B, C, and D before you even apply for permits. And they're doing the same thing now. If you're a local politician, if you're a county, if you're a city planner, you know what I mean? Someone comes and say, hey, we want to do this. And ain't nobody watching at the local level. Come on now.
I like this statement that Sister Candace just made. It's profound. This may sound weird, but hear me out. Trump is like R. Kelly. You have to be able to separate the music from the man. Trump led well, but said and did some stupid things. I'll still play his music.
Hey, I be rocking R. Kelly in the car with the top down. I be bumping R. Kelly. Now, mind you, I go by school zone. I do turn that down by the school zone.
Please do. I think it's part of the law.
So unnecessary.
I think you catch a case if you got it turned up. You know what I'm saying? You playing, I think you might be a problem. Playing 12 play, picking up some kids at school. But
remember bump and grind? Man, remember when I brought that overseas with us over in Korea? I brought that bump and grind. I didn't see that CD for like 6 weeks, bro. I heard it everywhere though.
Heard it everywhere. Bro, so what do you think about that statement though? I mean, do you agree with it? Like, you got to separate the politics from the dude. Like, you know what I mean? Because
that's the problem. People can't. That's the problem. They think that the Trump they saw in The Apprentice is the politician Trump, which he is. He was doing the same stuff. He done fired everybody that worked for him. So I mean, but I don't know. I just know that R. Kelly got some fire in his music though. I'm like, you got me on something now. I'm going to have Alexa play some of that tonight.
And let's not forget the McDonald's that was served to the Super Bowl team.
That's Trump.
That's
Trump, bro. Think about that. I mean, how you know what? That's why people think that Trump is just like them, because he does some stupid shit. You know what I mean? Like, bro, them football players probably couldn't even get McDonald's in the dorm. I'm sure that was not part of their diet.
Right. You gonna give us Big Macs?
Yeah, they spend too much money, and these cats be giving them Big Macs, bro. So I mean, but that's something that some poor person, I hate saying, God, but some poor person would throw a party, and I had to cater by McDonald's. Think about that. Just think about that. That's why he's just like us, because he does the same things we do.
Yeah, you couldn't hire a chef to get you some real like Kobe beef sliders or something like that. Some nutrition. We're gonna get some McDonald's. Hey, right.
Bro, my people own McDonald's, and I wouldn't cater a party with McDonald's.
Right. Right. That's real talk. That's real talk, bro. So let's finish with this. Let me ask you this, bro.
All right.
Do you think Trump will have to apologize for something that he's going to do at some point during this election run?
I think somebody's going to ask him about it, but he's not going to do it.
He's not going to do it.
It's not part.
And I'm not talking about just this. I'm just talking about whatever. This is the first one. Yeah, just in general.
It's not part. It's not part of his image. He can't do it because he'll look bad to his supporters. He's going to say something stupid, i.e., he just did it. You know, he just had an anti-Semite at his house, kicking it,
right,
drinking. So, but he's not going to apologize because that's not going to look good for his supporters. That's not his image. His image is I'm this tough guy and I don't make mistakes and everybody around me is the best people.
And Brother Just seems to agree with you. Like, he will never apologize. And Brother Just, with me for anything, he's never, ever going to apologize for anything he does ever.
No, bro, that's his image. Like I said, this is why, like I said, I hate going back to this red pill, manosphere, blue pill stuff, whatever. But this is what people think is masculine now. You know what I mean? Man, you hold your frame. You stand by what you say, and that's it, even when you're wrong. And you and I have talked about that. I think it's more masculine to admit when you're wrong and ask for help. You know, now, if it's your core belief, you stand by it. Hey, it's my core belief. You know, I believe that kicking puppies is what you're supposed to do. I'm going to stand by that. And that's it. Fine. You know what I mean? But, you know, if you know what's wrong, go ahead and say you're sorry. But he's not going to do it because his image is, I'm a tough guy. I always make the right decision. I stand by my decisions, and I only pick the best people, and I'm surrounded by the best people. So he's not going to do it.
Wow. We're going to get to watch that, bro. You know what I mean? So, Brother Dino, that 2017 SEAL Team 6 raid in Yemen was Trump trying to get his Obama-level military win. RIP to the fallen. I'm not sure if that was SEAL 6 on that, but it was SEALs. Yeah. I don't know if that was SEAL 6. And that mission is, okay, again, this goes to leadership. This is why I believe that unless you serve the United States military, you should never be able to be president of the United States. That's my personal belief. You have to ask generals certain questions. You just can't let them come to you with a package and like, this is what we're going to do. You have to ask questions.
General, what was it? I was watching what was it? Dr. Strangelove. Dr. Strange. I don't know how many of y'all have ever seen that movie, Dr. Strangelove. You know, what is it? Why I Learned to Love the Bomb or something like that. You get a chance, look at that movie. But there's a general in there played by George C. Scott, the Air Force general. And all he wants to do is blow stuff up.
Just blow it all up, bro.
He's like, can I do it? Can I push the button? And the president's like, no, no, you can't do this. They had a Russian guy walk in the secret room. He lost his mind. There's a Russian in here trying to pull his gun out. There's a Russian in here. The president's like, no, you can't do that.
I'm going to have to watch that now. That shit sounds hilarious.
You never seen that before?
I don't think I've seen that one, bro. And I mean, because here's the thing. You dedicate your entire life going back to like a preteen, military academies and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like military school for kids all the way through like military academies in college, all the way through the military, right? You work your way up to a seat in the Pentagon, you know what I mean? Chairman, Joint Chiefs of Staff, right? So when they go to their happy place, where they're just trying to relax, you know what they hear? They hear this.
Get some. Get some.
Man, we're still doing it too. You look at all the generals that are there, and all them guys are tabbed out. Okay,
every last one of them. Some of them are scrolled out. Green special forces. They got all kind of stuff going on, man. Like we say, more tabs than the Michelin Man.
Yeah, so their job is to make war. I mean, and you got to be good at it. You know, now with the world changing the way that it is, and people talking about, well, the military is getting soft. It's not that the military is getting soft. It's that the world is changing. Okay, this ain't
Americans are getting pudgy and soft, bro.
But no, what I mean is the world is changing. You know, it's no longer, we don't take land and hold it anymore. You know, we're the world police. And there's a difference to laying waste versus we're going to come here and we're going to help rebuild this country. And we rebuilt countries. Last time we laid waste was World War II. Okay, we ain't laid waste since.
And we rebuilt all those nations. So really the last time we truly laid waste probably was to go back to, we laid waste in Vietnam. No, and didn't help. I mean, we didn't go on, but like that linebacker, that Operation Linebacker, bro, like the way we pummeled them.
When I say lay waste, I mean like we take over a country and put a McDonald's.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So
we didn't do that in Vietnam. Last time we did something like that was World War II.
Yeah, Okinawa and Hiroshima. You know what I mean? Not Hiroshima, Nagasaki type stuff. Yeah, you're right. And then like Dresden and what we did. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So now now it's a different world. You know, we're now, we're the world police. And so there's a different form of leadership that's out there, a different form of leadership that's needed. And I know a lot of people would be like, well, that's not true. No, that's exactly true. Okay. We're not taking over countries no more. You will never see another, if we see another Hiroshima, all right, or another, another Berlin, yeah, it's pretty much over for everybody at that point.
So, because now you're talking about ICBMs, you know what I mean? Or like what's going on in Ukraine, which we'll cover Ukraine at a later date. Oh, yeah, but that could spark off big time.
Even in Iraq, I mean, we didn't lay waste because there were civilians there. Everything's strategic now. So you have a different form of leadership. And I'm trying to think what I was getting at. But that's why the generals are different. But you need a civilian in leadership to be that voice of reason, is what I was getting at. You can't just let the military do their thing. I mean, if you tell the military, hey, you know what? Just like in Boomerang, you can do what you want. You got complete autonomy. And I can do anything. I can shoot whatever I want. You're the man. Go ahead and do it. Look, bro, you give the military the green light. Hey, look, people think our military is soft, right? Our military is soft about this and that. If the military ever got the green light, let's say what's going on in Ukraine. All right. No, let's say Iraq. If the military got the green light in Iraq and say, you know what, we're going to look the other way, no press involved. We need you to take this country. You got 3 days.
They'll have it done. They have it done in 18 hours.
For real. And it'll look like it'll look like the moon. Okay. And which sounds great to military people, because you know what? It sounds great to me because less people on our side would die. But I guarantee that Iraq does not exist anymore if you let the military have their way. Iraq will not exist on the map anymore. And that's why you need civilians involved in leadership. Now, do I think that the final decision maker should be a civilian? No. I think that, I agree with you. The president should have to serve in the military because he's the commander in chief. He's the one that actually orders troops to go fight and die. And if you're going to order troops to go fight and die, you have to understand what that consists of.
Yep. And I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Kennedy, he understood that, completely understood it. He lost men directly under his command. Eisenhower understood it. He lost men directly under his command.
Bush, Herbert Walker Bush.
Understood it.
He understood it.
And
the rest of them had a concept. You look at Clinton, W at least had he understood command. Now, whether or not he actually has a leadership role.
Until you've told someone to go kick in the door, you're number one in the door. Until you told someone that, I don't think you fully understand that. And that's what I mean by that. So, like I said, the first George Bush, yes, he understood it. Nixon.
He lost 2 airmen. Yeah, he lost 2 airmen under his command. That's what we're talking about. For those who don't know, he was shot down in Vietnam. I'm sorry, in World War II in the Pacific, and he lost 2 airmen. And it wasn't just airmen. One was his best friend, who was just really on a fam fight, just out there with him to go, which is to me insane. Just doing what young men do. That sounds exciting. Let's go. Let's go. You're a navigator. Come on and navigate. So he went and his aircraft was shot down, and it was decades later when he found out what happened to those 2. They made it to land. They survived the parachute drop. They landed in water. They were picked up by the Japanese, I think is how it goes. They wound up being held captive by these Japanese on this atoll or whatever. And the Japanese, not only did they kill them, they ate them. And a lot of people don't realize that these men were eaten by the Japanese who tortured them first and whatever. So he while he was president or maybe vice president, but while he was in office, he came across some documents with their names on it and discovered exactly what happened to him. And that had to just break him apart.
That's devastating. But you have to have that level of understanding. Like I said, that's why I think John McCain, I think he would have been an amazing president. I know there's a lot of people disagree with me and this sort of thing, but I think because he understood what combat was, and quietly more than most.
I wonder if John Kerry would have been a good president. I mean, that's another guy that's combat tested. I wonder. You know what I mean? But I know he would have put the country first. Yes. Anyone who puts the country first, I'm behind. I don't care what party you come from. You put the country first, I'm behind you, and you're a vet, of course. Yeah,
and and Kerry is one person that will stand up for what he believes in, because he showed that in the 70s when he came back and was testifying, in Congress about the conflict in Vietnam. So, definitely.
Right. And then Brother Dino was, on the thing. He's like, Flynn told Trump the Yemen mission would distinguish him from Obama. I believe you, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Again, Trump's an opportunist. He will do whatever, say whatever, if that's gonna get him what he wants.
And that's a hard statement. Like that right there is a hard statement. And I would hope that that statement is false. I really would, because there's men that lost their lives, amazing men that lost their lives.
On both sides, man.
Yeah, because someone just tried to prove that they got a bigger, Johnson than the next guy. And
Right.
and that's a problem. So I mean, but I don't doubt it, but I would hope that it's wrong.
And you deal with a lot of that with monarchies and stuff like that. You deal, you know, what I mean,
Yeah.
it's just it's sad, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. But I'm not gonna sit here and fight it. I believe it. I absolutely believe it. You know, and again, generals are like, let's do this. And one of the things you ask the generals is this mission absolutely necessary? They'll tell you no if the answer is no. They're not gonna lie to you. Generals will be like, nah, this isn't necessary.
Yeah.
There are other ways. There's other ways. Okay, what's the other package? Well, we can do this. We can do that. So no, you gotta know what questions to ask. But we're talking about a guy who doesn't like to read. They didn't even trust him with the
And he says
presidential
that.
daily brief. Yeah,
And
he's
he
proud of
says
it.
He says it out loud.
Proud of it.
No,
And it's like, so
and
why
here's
did
the
you
thing.
take these documents, bro?
And there's smart people that see, and here's the thing: there's smart people that know that this is wrong, that know that he's wrong. There really is smart people, but because they're in so deep, they defend it. And I think that's the problem. You know, when you
That's
put
our
party
team. It's back to
you
that
put
team
party
shit.
and a man ahead of your country, you know, that's a problem.
You're wrong. You know what I mean? I'm with you on that, but it's like, that's my team. You know what I mean? It's like, no, America should be your team.
Hey, I'm Team Swanson, and when wifey is wrong, I will tell her she's wrong. Now I'll deal with that shit for the next 3 or 4 days. But you know, it's about what's best for the family, not what's best for her or what's best for me. And I believe it's the same thing with our country. It's not what's best for an individual; it's what's best for our country. And right now, I really don't think Trump running for office is best for the country. You know, quietly, I think both of those dudes need to step aside, you know, and let some other people come in there. And hopefully we get some people that actually believe in this country and not ideologies, you know, and that's
that was
gonna
the
be
thing.
hard.
If they were to move out the way, it was like, but damn, who's next? I like Liz Cheney. I like Tulsi Gabbard. I like Tulsi. You know what I mean?
Brother, we're 2 years out, and dude, when Obama ran for president, didn't nobody ever hear of Obama?
Right. So we gotta wait and see.
Senator. Yeah. So I mean, you just gotta wait and see who rises up. Like I said, that man in Arkansas, the former governor of Arkansas. You know, I mean, I can't remember the dude's name off the top of my head, but I've listened to what he had to say. I've started reading a couple of things about him. I kind of like that guy. And so I mean, there's gonna be people. It's gonna take time. Nobody's coming out this early. They got to get their ducks in a row. Trump came out this early because he's trying to avoid going to jail.
Yeah, it's that indictment thing is messing with him. Sister Candace, I agree, Brother Swans. Our commander-in-chief should be a former service member. Brother Michael, Woodrow Wilson, a good president. No, he was a wartime president, but he was an extreme racist. The only time the Ku Klux Klan ever marched and like a national parade was under his administration, and he was invited to march in DC. But the thing is, he gets credit for winning World War I, which again, not well deserved. You know what I mean?
We kind of showed up towards the end of it.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. But no, I mean, as far as was he a good president, I would have to really delve into his administration and what he did. I don't know what he did, but again, anytime you're a wartime president, and if you win that particular war, which he got credit for, history's gonna remember you fondly. No one talks about that KKK parade. But
that's
you know what I mean?
That's because you know that kind of history we don't want to talk about because you know it makes us look bad as a country.
Hey,
so we don't talk about that.
so yeah, like so that was kind of a loaded question, man. And this is the kind of stuff that we like to delve into. Next time we're on Downrange Podcast, you know what? I'll have some notes, Brother Mike, and I'll get back to you. I'll actually look into his administration and see what he did.
Hey, did Mike ever DM you? You DM you yet?
Yeah, it's right. DM me, bro. I almost forgot. Make sure you DM me, man. It's my DM is scrolling across the bottom right now. I want to holler at you, Brother Dino. Senator John McCain, chairman of the Armed Services Committee, was briefed on the mission. He went public to challenge the administration's characterization. Yeah, I mean you're gonna put America first, and that's a man who understands what servicemen do. They understand like it's someone's going to die. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it damn well better make sense. Yeah, so
you know. The juice better be worth the squeeze. Is that what you say all the time?
yeah. Juice better be worth the squeeze. What are we doing? We're sending we're sending our most precious assets are our young men and women, our babies, and we're sending our babies off to fight and die. It better be worth it. You know what I mean? And that's another thing. I believe that everybody in the United States of America, once they hit 18, they go into the military and they have to serve for at least 2 years. Yeah. Everybody. So when they decide they're going to go to war, they're not just sending my godson or my daughter. You know what I mean? They're not just sending Jay Swanson. They're sending that elected official. Like, I'm sending my son, my daughter. I'm sending my neighbor's son or daughter.
Yeah.
I'm sending my cousins, my nephews, my nieces. That would change the way we do business in the world.
I'm telling you, because when your child is at risk, I mean, and here's a kind of short little sidebar. You know, my son, you know, he's talking about going to airborne school. You know, he's looking at re-enlisting, going to airborne school.
Yeah, because we don't talk the legs, but okay, continue.
Exactly. So you know, he had a conversation with me, right? And he asked me, you know, my thoughts about it. Okay, you think it's a good idea? You know, he had some different options. You think it's a good idea? And I told my son, I said, okay, as a parent, as a dad, no, I don't want you to go to airborne school. I said, it's inherently dangerous. You know, people get hurt all the time. They die. It's dangerous. I don't want you to do it. And on top of that, you'll probably end up at some unit, probably in the 82nd, you know, and you'll be on some sort of, you know, quick reactionary force, or you're going to be on DRB. You know, your chances of getting deployed go up. You know, if you try to go to Ranger, you know, you'll get the option to go into Ranger School or SF because all that stuff is there, you know, so it changes all dynamics. So I said, as a father, no, I don't want you to do it. Now, I said, as a paratrooper and a veteran, I said, I would like nothing more than you to go from being my son to my brother. I would like nothing more. It would be, you know, it would be one of the most proud. It'd be one of the proudest days of my life to go.
That's one day. That's one day I wouldn't miss, bro. Pinning those wings on his chest, man. I don't care what's going on in the world. I would not miss that for anything.
Exactly. So that's how I look at it. Now, if a politician has a child that may have to make those kind of decisions or go to war, I guarantee the conversation gets different. I guarantee we wouldn't have been in Iraq. If you looked up and half of Congress kids were in the military, wouldn't have been in Iraq. Because I remember having a discussion, you know, and we're talking to one of my neighbors about it. I'm like, I don't see why we're going there. I see why we're going to Afghanistan, but I don't understand Iraq. You know, but I think this is like, I don't think we would have been in Vietnam.
It's weapons of mass destruction. Weapons of mass destruction wouldn't have been enough if everyone's kid was in there. No. Vietnam, though, the thing about Vietnam was we had the draft, but rich people weren't there, like Trump, like Clinton. You know what I mean? Like Cheney.
You know, I was going to say they wouldn't have been there. You know, the last, I bet you every war since World War II, we would not have gotten involved in if everybody's kids were there, including Korea. You know, the military was so depleted after World War II that they integrated the military. Don't think they did it because it was the right thing to do. They did it because they needed bodies. Needed bodies.
And then came Task Force Smith. We ain't gonna talk about that. That's a whole nother show. No more Task Force.
But if everybody's in the military, you know, wheelchair or not, okay. I mean, I hate to tell y'all, but you can. What is that? That SF guy that was deployed after he lost his leg.
Yep.
And went back and they said, "Come on,
come on."
You know,
if you don't have use of your legs, right? If you were born and your legs don't work or whatever, you can still do business in your wheelchair.
Oh, yeah. You can be a secretary, you can work in supply. There's jobs you can do in the military.
There's tons of jobs you could do. You can sit around and be a strategist. Just because your legs don't work doesn't mean you don't have a keen military mind.
Image analyst. Go up there and look at pictures and find tanks. So
hell, you can fly drones these days. So you know, that's combat mission right there. The thing is this: I will do away with all of the contract work. The United States military will be self-sufficient. There will be no civilians involved at all. Not one.
Now you mess with everybody's money now. You mess with how congressmen make their money, how them senators, how all those politicians make their money. Now you're messing around with people's money now. You can't get away with all them contracts because, you know, you need to have cooks because the military don't have cooks. So they got to have civilian cooks in there. Oh, wait. The military does have cooks. My bad.
And mechanics. They got mechanics. They got cooks.
Well, you need someone to drive trucks. Then you gotta have the contractors to drive. Oh wait, the military got truck drivers. I forgot about that.
They're called air traffic controllers. Yeah, they called air traffic controllers.
Really? Okay, wait. You need people to sweep up and clean up. We got them too. You know. So I mean, you mess with people's money. That's why you'll never see that go away.
But maybe. I mean, I hold
out money.
Oops. Yo, man. Yeah. Sister Candace, she's like, I think the Republican Party has a bevy of options for president of the United States. I would agree with you. The Democrats, however, will be flat-footed as they always are.
Hold on. I don't think the Republican Party has as many options as people believe. And the reason I think that is because a lot of them have gone all their options right now, a lot of the options have gone so far to the right that it's going to be difficult to win a national election. Like I said,
like even looking at like DeSantis, he's already said and done some stuff that kind of is going to paint him in a corner in the national election.
Yeah, because you need other people. I mean, you need those independents right now. And what Trump has done and what these last group of politicians have done has shown that these independents are like, I think things have gone a little too far. And so because everybody right now is screaming DeSantis. DeSantis is good for Florida.
Yes.
Okay, DeSantis may not be good for, I don't know, Washington State or, Pennsylvania, that sort of thing. Michigan. Okay. I mean, I'm just saying. So I think the Republican Party, now the Republican has a lot of loud people in it. And that's because Trump has elevated a lot of these people by making all this noise. So the Republican Party has a lot of people making noise. The Democratic Party people have all been quiet. The only one you're hearing about is Gavin Newsom. And the reason you're hearing Gavin Newsom's name is because he's the anti-DeSantis. All right.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, yeah, and I'm not a fan. Empty suit. I'm
not
a fan.
So when people say, "Well, DeSantis is this," and what's the first thing they say? Well, Gavin Newsom is doing this in California. So the press jumps on that because the press, if it bleeds, it leads. If it makes noise, put it out there. That's what that's about. But the people that are going to be running, the serious people, they're quietly sitting there. The Andrew Yangs. He's going to run again. The Buttigieg, he's going to run again. So there's going to be.
Are we ready? Are we ready for the first openly gay president of the United States of America? I don't think so.
I like him a lot. Okay, and he's a combat veteran. I like that dude a lot. But I mean, and he's a very intelligent man. Now, do I think we're ready? I don't know. Okay,
I don't think flyover country. I don't think they're ready.
I want to sit here and say no, but you know what? It's not as much of a big deal as it was. So I don't know. In 2 years is a lot of time.
Here's the thing with Buttigieg. Like you said, I can get behind it. I haven't done a lot of research on him. I know when he was running for his presidential run, the people in his own hometown weren't that keen on him. A lot of them, of course, you're gonna have that. You know what I mean? You're gonna have that. He's a mayor. He has to be smart to get as far as he has gotten in his young political career. He's military. I get that. I don't care who you marry and all that kind of stuff. I don't care. Yeah. But I think he would fall victim to wokeness. Not that that's his banner, but I think that he just falls victim to that. I think. And then when you look at, like the don't say gay thing down here in California, you look at the fears that people have out here with the children being allowed to choose their own gender and stuff like that. I think he falls victim to that. So he has to. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say when you were saying fall victim, I thought you were gonna go another way with it. But I agree. I think that even if he does not support a lot of the woke, policies, I think that he will become the poster child for that because it'll be like Obama. People thought when Obama gets elected, like I said, black people are gonna have the White House and all pimped out and rims on the beast, And so I think that he'll fall victim to that. Now, does he have the savvy to dance around that? I don't know. Obama did.
I would say it's impossible, but that's a good point because Obama did. But I was just gonna say I would say it would be impossible to dance around it. He would have to almost attack it. Yeah. And and actually say, no, this is wrong and attack it. So, And that's, do you want to be the guy that has to attack, the alphabet clan that has to attack wokeness? You don't want to be that guy.
And see, here's the thing is like, you can't, and you're not going to be able to go in there and be like, well, he's just a punk because he's gay. Because dude's already shown that, not having that. And he is the guy that goes on everybody's talk show. Yes. He's been on Fox News. He's been on CNN. He goes on air. He ain't scared of nobody.
He's fearless.
Yes. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know enough about him either. I just like the way he speaks and the things he says. But I have to do more research. But I mean, this is what I mean. But there's so many. It's so early in the field right now that the true people, they're not out yet. Like I said, Andrew Yang was the one that was like, give everybody $1,000. Oh, that's horrible. We're not going to do that. And what they do, give everybody like $3,000 a month.
Like Yang's idea would have been cheaper. What's wrong with y'all? And he started his own party. I want to do a show on his party. No, he started a political party, and that's a wild card. But even forget the party. Andrew Yang resonates with moderate Democrats, moderate Republicans, and independents. He makes sense. And we're in a situation where we got all these possible candidates that don't necessarily make sense. I agree with you. It's early. We don't know. But someone like Andrew Yang, who got pretty good traction, especially on the right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the biggest argument back then was he just didn't have enough experience. Maybe he could argue now I got more experience.
I think you're going to see a more diverse group of people, you know, running for president. You know, as much as people made a big deal about Hillary being this woman that they thought she was going to be the first president, you know, the first woman president, all this other stuff, she did actually open the door. She didn't become president, but she actually opened the door to a woman president being.
And what did she say? The 2 million cracks or whatever in the glass ceiling or whatever she said. Okay,
whatever it was, but she definitely has made people more open to that. Okay, and this was, I mean, hell, she almost became president. I mean, really almost became president. So I think that is America ready for a woman president? I would say now, yeah.
Absolutely. You know, look at Tulsi Gabbard. You know what I mean? I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Look at Liz Cheney. Yeah, look at Liz Cheney. Look at Nikki Haley. You know what I mean? That's two Republicans. That's two Republicans and a former Democrat. You know what I mean? Yeah. Look at Michelle Obama, even though she doesn't want it. But if Michelle Obama got into this race, I think she wins the Democratic nod hands down. I don't think it's even close. You know what I mean? I don't think it's even close, and she still might do it.
Okay. Because, once again, that's right now. You know what I mean? Once again, who comes out? Because Michelle Obama will be considered too far to the left now for people. Just like with,
Michelle Obama would be considered a moderate, bro.
Nah, because
she would be because they to the left is so far left right now. She would be considered a moderate.
It's all about the narrative, and the Republicans will sell it that she's so far to the left. I mean, could you imagine getting Barack Obama back into the White House, bro? Come on. And that's what I mean, because once again, the narrative is now that Barack Obama ruined this country, which I find to be hilarious when you sit back and actually look at the numbers. But
look what he inherited, and look what he left behind. Come on.
That's how they've sold it, and that's what I mean. Like you could not. Michelle would be so far to the left. They would so push that, and plus I don't think Michelle got the patience if she was going up against Trump for Trump to walk behind her like he did Hillary.
Oh, Michelle elbow somebody, man. It'd be a problem, bro. It'd be Secret Service up there. But Trump won't even be in the picture. Honestly, it wouldn't be Trump. It probably would be a DeSantis. But here's the thing. Here's a thought. Could you imagine the top contenders for both sides, Republican and Democrat, were women?
That would be amazing. And here's why I say that. Because I think if you are a woman and you elevate yourself like that in both parties, both major parties, you got to have something.
Got to.
You got to have something. See, okay, like here, this Gavin Newsom thing. Look, Gavin Newsom's just saying what people want to say. I really don't think I don't think Biden's going to run again. I really don't. I think right now he's saying it because Trump said something.
Yeah, and like Sister Candace said, that she also said, first she said, difficult to win national elections against Biden. I think the only reason you would need Biden to make a run at the office again for re-election is if Trump were running. Biden still is the only person that could beat Trump, in my opinion. Today. I was going to say today, because you get somebody with Newsom's swag, which Newsom got a lot of swag, bro. You know what I mean? You know, he really does. I mean, I don't like dude because I'm like, you know, California, you bring the mayor of San Francisco, make him the governor, you got a state of San Francisco. So he's a publicity firm's dream. He's the guy. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. You get his swag, but you get like Buttigieg's his wit, because Buttigieg is quick. You get his wit. All right. And
bro, real quick, I hate to say this, but if Buttigieg was a heterosexual male, would it change his outlook? That's fucked up to say, but it's just it is what we call strikes and balls here, people. Just keeping it 100.
Well, you know, and hey, look, and that goes along with Herschel Walker. Okay, and I said this to.
I was trying to get through this without bringing that man's name up, bro. Somebody throw him a football.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. But, I talked to Jeff today, and I said this, and I was like, if Herschel Walker was white, Herschel Walker would not be the Republican nominee, because that man is just dumb. Okay, there ain't no way around it. He's just dumb. Okay, he's dumb, bro. He's a liar, and he abuses women. Okay, and when he goes near a church, his hands hurt because the doors are so hot. So I
He
mean,
is, yeah, he is dumb. And real quick, shout out to Miss AKA Lady and Sister Follows in the house. What's up, y'all? I see you. I'm sorry I didn't give you a horn blow earlier, but we were talking. I said horn blow, pause. We were talking, but yeah, man.
why you
Herschel
say
Walker?
Wasn't nobody even thinking about that?
It just didn't sound right. But Herschel Walker is definitely the one of the bro. I don't know a whole lot about politics, but I'm ready to say, I'm ready to call it. He's the dumbest guy to ever run for an office.
Could be. I mean, bro, here's where it's insulting, because the Republican stance is that we got to get we got to get these people to vote. So we'll put a black football player up there and they'll vote for him. And that's sad. It really is, because I mean, that's an insult to the intelligence level of the black community for me.
Boy, it's like, that's how you see us? This dude, that's how y'all see us. Oh.
And be standing up there cheering him. Lindsey Graham was crying. We got to get him in there. Like, man, look, I want to see how much money's being funneled in his campaign now, because now
not as much. It doesn't matter. So probably hardly any money going to that campaign right now. They don't care about Warnock or and what's the dummy name again? Herschel Walker. They don't care about anyone at this point, either one of them, because the seat doesn't matter. So
I'll tell you, the problem is with this last midterm was the quality of candidates. Okay, I don't think the Republicans put their best foot forward. They put,
but they did though in certain states. They did. Like, look at New York. The Republican Party in New York had a really good night. They had a really good night. Look at Florida. Florida did what it was supposed to do. You know what I mean? You know, like, it's just it was the Donald Trump effect that came in there and really hurt the Republicans. He decimated the party. Yeah. You know what I mean? This should have been a cakewalk for him. It should have been. You know what I mean? But no, we got this guy who only cares about himself. And even when they broke it down and showed him how, bro, it wasn't a bad night for Republicans. It was a bad night for Trump Republicans. Still, he blamed the Kennedys.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, brother. It is what it is.
So Miss AKA Ladies Ones, America is never going to be ready. But if the right situation is created, it can happen. I think the LGBT community would be his biggest issue. We're talking about Buttigieg. That would be his biggest issue. They are really aggressive at times and turn people off, which is pretty much what we were saying. It's pretty much what we were saying.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's
and like Miss AKA Lady, you know, what are your thoughts? Like, if Buttigieg were a heterosexual man with a beautiful wife, do you think that would help his chances of actually being president of the United States? I'm just curious to hear or anyone in the chat, really. I'm just curious to hear what, y'all take on that. Well, JSWANS already said,
a lot of it's all about perception. You know, I mean, people want to, they feel comfortable. Hey, go back. You got to do that. Was a good one.
My bad. Sister Candace, I don't think we can see any more diversity than the 16 or so Republican presidential candidates we saw years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Who was running?
Yeah, always talking about on both sides, the Republicans and the Democrats. They all had a huge
field. Okay. It was like both sides. Okay.
I mean, when I mean diversity, I mean the actual people that are actually going up for the actual president, who won the primaries for their things. I mean, I think you're going to see. I mean, it would be interesting to see 2 women and an Asian. I don't know. I think that going forward, the pictures of the presidents they have on the walls are about to get real different. It really is.
It's funny. And Candace is saying either way, we never see a trilogy like Fury versus Wilder, which is a great fight. Yep. Because presumably Trump and Biden might be gone by then. That's real talk. They both old, bro. For real. They're both old. So man, this has been a good talk, bro. We got to wrap this up, man. We can go on forever. We're gonna have to save this for the next episode.
Yeah, my laptop's gonna die soon, so I ain't plugging in.
See how he treats me, man. Whatever. But last question I want to ask to you, bro, and we'll wrap it up. Early on, you were talking when Jeff popped into the chat, you were saying about the Republicans are going to take them 20 years to get their shit right.
Yeah.
I mean, 20 years? That's a long time, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I'm giving Americans too much credit. Probably, the memories are pretty short, but it's going to be a while. I mean, these midterms, it wasn't that people loved Biden's policies so much, is that they're so sick of the Republican Party. And they've got some people in some positions now that you're going to have to get them out in order to really bring the Republican Party back. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Jim Jordan. What's the dude that likes little girls up here in Florida? Matt Gaetz.
You talk about indictments coming down. That dude's already that dude's work. He's cooperating. So we're gonna see what happens with that. He's still gonna have to do some time behind that.
The Freedom. I think they're the Freedom Caucus. You know, those people there. They're so much louder. Like I said, this is why people laugh at this. But Pelosi got her crazy people in check. Okay, she got them people quiet. You ain't heard nothing from them people. But right now, the Republicans, you know, they got the crazies running the nut house right now, and that's going to be a problem. That's turning people off.
That's turning people off because Pelosi will send somebody to your house with a hammer. So y'all gotta, you know, get it right. Gangster.
So, I mean, I think it's going to be a while before the Republican Party recovers. They've turned so many people off. They're going to have to reach out to the LGBTQFRQ+2 community. They're gonna have to reach out to them. They're laughing at me. They got to. I heard that. You know, they're gonna have to. You know, they're gonna have to get in the different minority communities and reach out to them. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a little while before, you know, they have to get back to their core values. You know, when you got people like Bulbert saying that, you know, America doesn't, you know, the government doesn't tell religion what to do. Religion tells the government what to do. Neither one. Right. Neither one. Not supposed to work like that.
They got this thing called separation of church and state, my brother. You know what I mean? Yeah, so they tend to forget these things.
But when you got people out there saying that kind of stuff, you're turning more and more people off, especially in a country where religion is declining. You know what I mean? So you're turning more and more people off. So the Republican, they have to get back to their conservative values, you know, fiscally conservative, small government, you know, those sort of things. Stop pressing so much on social issues that it doesn't matter. Like this whole gay marriage thing. Like, why go after? Like, who cares who you marry? Look, all of it, it's a business contract. Now I get a discount on my taxes. I get to put somebody on my medical. You know,
and one of y'all gonna get over at the divorce. That's all it means. When y'all get married,
that's what it is. But
somebody getting half. It just it might be a win for dudes.
But because somebody somewhere said, "Oh, this really bothers me," you know, you got Republicans jumping all over. Most people don't care.
Yeah, and most people don't care.
No.
Brother Dino say Walker has his primary home filed this year as Texas for a tax break. That's dumb. That might be illegal. Like, bro, that right there is like, the whole race is over. He can't even run.
That's not dumb. That's rich. That's rich. I don't give a damn. Where can I get the most money back? Do that. But you're running for a senator.
I don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So here's the last thing. We'll close with this one. I think with Sister Candace, the Republican Party never went anywhere. Look at the 200 plus federal judges appointed under the Trump administration, or the 3 Supreme Court justices, or regaining control of the House. She's got a point.
They played the long game. They played chess.
She's got a point. She's got a point.
They played the long game. You know what I mean?
But I will say this, though. All those Republicans who voted for the Supreme Court picks, they're not going to vote for Trump on another round. They're not going to do it. He lost those Republicans forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's really down to, he's got to be like 20, like what, 20, 25%. He's down to his absolute core.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just that, you know, I mean, but people think I think Republicans voted for, you know, they voted for what they believed in. But like I said, when you make a deal with the devil, you know, he comes to collect. And I think that a lot of these, you know, along with those things they believed in, you know, like I said, hey, we want a more conservative court. Okay, great. They didn't think that conservative court would be, now let's take a look at this. Now let's take a look at that. Let's look at gay marriage. You know what I mean? What about interracial marriage? I guess we could take a look at it. You know what I mean? They didn't vote for those things, you know. They just voted out of fear. You know,
and Sister Candace makes another good point. She goes on, she says, Ohio, Florida, and some other states can no longer be classified as swing states. In my opinion, here's the thing, depends on who runs in the next cycle. Let's say that Donald Trump gets in there and actually runs, like he is the Republican, you know what I mean, the head of the ticket. Yes, Ohio's in play, the blue wall, Pennsylvania's in play, the blue wall is in play, Florida's in play. Like, and here's the thing, if Trump runs again, he's lost Arizona and he's lost Georgia. Let's just keep it 100 right off rip. Right, Georgia and Arizona are gone to the Democrats. Ohio, definitely. Pennsylvania's gone. Michigan's gone. Ohio's in play. Florida is in play. With DeSantis, depending on what happened, you know what goes on that, you know, leading up to that election, So it depends on who's running on the other side.
If DeSantis runs and Trump runs, Trump is going to look.
They're going to destroy each other in the primary. They'll destroy each other.
It would not shock me if while Trump was president, he had whoever he could get, the NSA or whatever, investigating DeSantis and got a whole bunch of dirt just in case on anybody.
I don't think he's that forward looking. I don't think he was that forward looking, but who would stop him from doing it now?
Flynn is.
Well, you got a good point there. but I think it's just my point to Sister Candace is this: it depends on who's at the top of that ticket, and you got the wrong Republican at the top of the ticket, and the only really wrong Republican right now is Trump. If you got Trump at the top of the ticket, you're losing some states that that they've been historically Republican. Georgia's gone, Arizona's gone. You know what I mean? Florida is in play. Ohio toss up. Pennsylvania gone. Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, the blue wall intact. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful. You know, the Republican Party has to be very careful, and they understand that, and that's why they're trying to keep them away from politics.
I think the Republican Party, I think they went all in. I think that's what they did. They were like, they pushed the chips all the way in. Let's go. You know?
All the way in, like, so they're gonna be real careful about that. Miss AKA Lady, over time, I still think Florida is purple, but right now it's a strong red. As long as DeSantis is here doing what he's supposed to do, and there's no real big scandals, he has a big one coming with flying those people out of Texas. But if he gets past that, I agree with you. Like Florida is deep red.
I don't agree with everything DeSantis did, you know, or is doing right now. But you know, for the most part, he's done his job, and that's all that counts. You know what I mean? You do your job. Like I said before, I don't give people trophies for doing their job. You know what I mean? And so I'll give him that. You know, he's doing his job. The state did not fall apart. We stayed open during COVID. That's the big one. You know, I think this whatever the don't say gay, whatever they're calling it, HR, whatever it is, the don't say gay thing, I think that's going to come back to haunt him in a whatchamacallit, in a national election. I think a lot of his commercials that he ran here in Florida are going to come back and bite him in a national election. You know, but that's just me, because I agree with her. I don't think that Florida is as deeply red as people think it is. I think it's still a purple state. I think that it looks red because DeSantis, you know, he kept the state open during COVID. You can't be mad at that.
Can't be mad at that. And he had, like you said, he got the one disaster and he handled it properly, like you said, he's supposed to, but he didn't screw it up. You get points for that. You know what I mean? But he did do some stuff he's going to have to answer for. Sister Candace, again, Biden won without Florida and Ohio. But the point, but the point is this: Florida and Ohio have always been historically red states. Throw in Georgia, throw in Florida as a top. I mean, throw in Georgia, throw in Arizona. The Republicans got a problem. I mean, it's really hard for them to do the electoral college math without those states. It's really hard.
And watch what starts to happen. Watch the economy start to improve. Right around August of next year. Watch it.
Man, I don't know, bro. It's going to be so much pain going into that election. I don't know. Whoever wins the White House is going to inherit good times. I'll tell you that, because that's going to be, if they don't print any more money, right? If they let the Fed do their thing and America just takes his medicine, we should be coming out of this recession right around the time the new president is going into office. So whoever that president is going to inherit, you know what I mean? Like I said,
watch right around August, you're going to start to see that. You're going to start to see it start to go up again. August 2023, it's going to start to go up because it's got to begin somewhere. Now watch. Save that. Save it. Write it down.
Yeah, we can clip it. I don't think it's gonna happen. Not by August, bro. All right, we'll see. You heard it. You heard it here first, people. You heard it here first. You know what I mean? I
know you was getting frustrated. He was like,
Sister Follow, Grumpy Dog. Yeah, Kylo wants his attention. We're done. We're gonna wrap this up. I just want to get the last couple chats in here, and then we're gonna wrap this up. Sister Candace, I just disagree that they are a swing state. I believe they are firmly red states. They are, unless Trump is running. That's the point we're trying to make. Trump,
don't want him to run.
He will move the needle that much. Anyone other than Trump, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, those are firmly red states, wholeheartedly. But Trump is running on a Republican ticket, that's going to move the needle greatly, and that's what they're afraid of, in my humble opinion. But what do I know? I'm just an old man sitting in his attic talking to his buddy. You know what I mean? So, Brother Dino, Iran versus USA tomorrow. You watching? Absolutely not, bro. I'm football man. I'm sorry.
I watch American sports.
Yeah,
If you don't use your hand, it's not a sport. All right.
Pause.
No pause. That's a sport too. You use your hand. Some of us use both hands.
Boy. That's hilarious. I've never been a football guy ever. I've tried to watch man work, but America just isn't good enough. There's gonna have to be
that is soccer.
Here's the thing, man. In order for America to really make a run at that level, there would have to be such a big push in this country. I know soccer's getting better and more people are involved. Hell, they just opened Cincinnati has a professional soccer team, in Cincinnati, or club or whatever you call them. And they're, people are coming out because Cincinnati is a smaller market, but you would need to put in so many resources and teach so many young people. If you get like that NFL quality of athlete that wants to do soccer, won't nobody be able to stop America, bro.
You gotta get that NFL quality money in America. That's the problem.
That's the problem. When nobody stop, and look, the world, but they make more money. Like these world class soccer dudes make way more money than NFL guys.
Hey, what you need to do?
Way more.
You got to get soccer into the inner cities, because once the brothers start playing, it is over. It took over golf.
Yes,
it took over golf. We coming for hockey. We come for hockey, Cody. We coming for hockey.
hockey, lacrosse. It's all about to happen. It ain't gonna take long before we get into curling. We gonna take over.
You didn't know? Gonna be up there with. Gonna have some R. Kelly playing, some Yeezy playing. You know what I'm saying? Making curling cool. So, but yeah, brother Dino, I'm not a soccer guy. And I ain't gonna lie, I was even gonna try to watch Team USA, but I think we tie the first match and then we lost the second match. No, we lost. I think we lost the first two. I don't even know the rules. So forgive me, bro. No, the answer is no.
I'm trying to be political. I'm trying to be political. Trying to be political here, bro. But you let me know, man. I'll definitely watch. I didn't bet on it or anything. People like, put it in your parlay. Like, bro, hell no. I ain't doing that. So but yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Sister Miss AKA Lady or Sister Candace, I'ma always keep hope alive, LOL. I'm pro balance. I don't want any party in office too long. I'm with you on that. I mean, again, that's real talk. The Dems or Republicans can win at a national level. I wanted to come down to platforms. I wanted to come down to issues. I wanted to come down to Americans wanting to do what's right for America. I don't like what's going on with Trumpers, and I don't like what's going on with the far left. So I'm with y'all in that regard. Ohio, Florida went red too, Sister Candace. Yeah, and Ohio and Florida are deep red. You know what I mean? But the problem is, again, with the Trump, it's in play. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the thing. He moves the needle, and it's just bad politics for the Republicans. It's like they gotta dump money in places like Ohio and Florida and like they've lost Georgia, it would seem. Arizona, they gotta dump money places where they didn't used to have to dump money. So that's the only point I'm making. And Sister Candace, the next time we do a political talk, a good deep one, you're gonna have to come up and join us on the panel. You don't have to turn your camera on. Just you can have an icon up or something like that. But I definitely would. No, you don't. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
I'm like Teddy Pendergrass.
No, I don't listen. But I would love to have you up here. I want to pick your political mind. I would love to have you up here, especially if your husband's around. Like, have him up too. I would love to definitely pick your mind. You made some excellent points today. And Sister Candace was responding to Miss AKA Lady. I don't disagree. I just think there's a difference between idealism and realism. And I think realistically, the electoral map has shifted.
You're only reading the super chats.
I ain't got there yet. We almost there. We're almost there when we get to the super chats. We can't super chat yet because I'm not fully monetized. We still got like 700 or so watch hours.
Miss AKA Lady, that's right.
What did she say? Miss AKA Lady, I just don't get soccer. It's like baseball. A long time of watching people almost score. Yeah. And people get crazy. And final chat, Sister Candace, 2024 is interesting, assuming Trump is not at the front of the Republican ticket. I look forward to that conversation when we get there. Yeah, and we look forward to having you on here, Sister Candace, because you got some great points. Get you up here and we can debate with me and JSWANS and whoever else we get. So hey, that's it, y'all. We've been doing this for 2 hours. JSWANS computer's about to conk out on it. So listen, this was fun, bro. Thanks for coming up, man. You rock. Every time you come up, you rock this out, man. And remember, we're supposed to be on Wednesday.
You best have my money.
It's all good, bro. You still got my weapons.
You gonna make JSWANS have to choke a bitch?
Oh, this motherfucker. This. All right, y'all. I've had enough. We're done. This is the Downrange Podcast. I'm DL Saint. That's JSWANS, man. We're going to talk to y'all later. Peace.
All right.